What's up, gang? How everybody doing? I hope everybody doing good. All right. Trey Gang just uploading video today. I'm gonna be back later on with my commentary, but I'm just putting up video so we can all just watch it, recap it, keep the timeline in mind. Cause right now, we already should know what's going on around this time. Y'all should know what's going on around this time. I know my last line got cut off last. Might have hit a goddamn pole and knocked all our internet and lights out and stuff. But but now we should know what we actually seeing on the footage. And I'm gonna do that live over the one I did last night, cause we was on the road. And I'm gonna tell y'all something what we mostly forgot about what Friends K said in the letter. If you read the letter real closely, Friends K never mentioned that Kenneka was walking the halls. Friends K never said she walked the halls on the lower level, right? Notice he left that out. Now, a thinking person would have been like, wait a minute, you sure right, Trey Gang. Cause he said he was watching on cameras that night. So if he would have seen Kenneka on no floor, y'all didn't think he would have been seeing her walking on the lower level just like we did? That's something to think about. Since Friends K didn't mention that part, what everybody think about the footage when she was roaming the hall? Everybody said, ooh, that video is edited, right? Ooh, that don't even look like Kenneka at all, right? So what's that really basically telling us? And I told y'all, I said, man, look, Kenneka got the same movement on each camera. She got the same movement on each camera. If Kenneka got the same movement on each camera, that means somebody digitally plays Kenneka on the camera and depicted a walk, a route, right? Now, I know one thing when it comes to this, cause keep in mind, gang, everything what the paperwork said. Now, they say they found Kenneka downstairs. I got all the proof that I need that Kenneka downstairs. She downstairs somewhere in the basement or a private area. The private area in the basement is gonna be right there by each other. See what I'm talking about? Now look, we already know somebody had a picture of Kenneka on the phone when it come to the police, right? So whoever the first one was on the scene that really found Kenneka is in hot water. Just because the first picture they took over the phone, now you got to know what time that actually was. So if her body didn't show no pooling of the blood and her face didn't show no evidence that she was laying face down, no evidence of laying face down. That means somebody took that picture ahead of time. Cause remember, Rosemont there the whole time. So they already probably had pictures already posted. Look, they probably had Kenneka pictures. I want to say probably about an hour or two after her death, right? So Rosemont got away with this. They got everybody thinking she walked up the stairs upstairs to a kitchen when in reality she was downstairs when she found. It's no doubt in my mind that the police moved the body into the freezer because you would really screw this up if you have Monique and them doing this. But now you got them contaminating with evidence. You got to think about their shoes, footprints, the DNA that's gonna be left on the doorknob, fingerprints, and all of this and everything. What we needed, they kept it out the investigation, right? So check this out. In the cooler, right? We already know that the coldness slow the process down. So that means the slowness, the slowness of the cold slow down all the process. And since by it slowed down the process, it makes it harder to figure out the timeline when she actually died. Cause if a police normally come up on bodies, like if they've been shot or stabbed or somewhere in the environment, you know what I'm saying? They can get an accurate timeline. But if you put somebody in the cooler or freezer, you know what I'm saying, it will make it a little harder to pinpoint what actually time that the crime occurred. Right? Hold on, gang. Let me calm him down. All right, gang, I'm back. Check this out, right? Now, remember what I was telling y'all, right? About who would take Kenneka, who would take pictures of Kenneka watch. It could be 9 in the morning or 9 at night. Now, y'all see what time it say on the footage, right? And we know this time her is gonna be off. So look, this means this at what time? 9:40. That means this 9 something, gang. Now, now look, you got airline pilots, right? Think about the airline pilots. Look at everything that's going on in the lobby, right? So right here would be 8, but if you knock it down, it'll be like 7:43 going on 8. So check this out. So that means the police was already up there, right? Doing something, moving something, or staging something round about this time. Cause keep this in mind. Do not never forget what Miss Teresa said. She said what was going on around 10 something. I ain't gonna tell you what she said, what was going on around 10 something. If you've been following the case, you should know, right? So put that together. 9 on the footage, like, okay, I know what I'm looking for. Everybody should know what they looking for in this footage. We ain't just watching this shit, just watching it. Check this out. We trying to get an answer like what the fuck is going on right here. So check this out. Now, if this at 7:45 finna go on 8 o'clock, then you can understand why they took her pictures around 8 o'clock at night. And then you got pictures of they taking a watch round 1 something. Then you will understand that the police, when they were taking pictures of the back dock, and they gave you a timestamp at 8 o'clock, going on 9. So if you got the police in that area doing all of this, what you think the beverage manager was doing? He was in the kitchen at the same time when the police were down there. So why can nobody put that theory with that theory and make a big ass peanut butter sandwich out of it? Cause they go together. They just uncover the whole cover up right there. They on the camera. We got the frequency of the call. You know what I'm talking about? And I got the paperwork to bag all this shit up. What they said they synced on the footage. Keep this in mind. Nowhere in the investigation that you could read that Kenneka walked the hall. If you could find me one paperwork that said Kenneka walked the halls, show it to me. I bet you nobody can't show me when they said Kenneka walked the halls. But we got video footage of her walking the halls. Ain't that something funny? That what that's telling you, right? What is that really basically telling us? They never mentioned the route, to be honest with you, in the paperwork. They didn't know what the fuck they were gonna come out with. You see what I'm saying? It all depends on what the public will accept. Will they accept this lie or will they accept this lie? Cause we ain't finna tell the truth. So they gonna have to do their own investigation and figure it out on their own, or they gonna go with either one of these lies that we gonna put out. Simple as that, right? So look, if check this out. This how the way I'm looking at the footage, right? This how the way when I watch this footage, this the way I'm watching it. I'm looking at it as Kenneka somewhere on the lower level in the area, a basement. It would make sense that you would have a body in the basement, stashed away until it's time to find the body, right? So that means the police is stalling. So I'm finna look at it like,
what straight drop had hit you up? I don't trust him, man. I do not trust him. Hey, look, and I'm just being honest, bro. I don't trust that dude for nothing, bro. I don't trust him for nothing, bro. And let me tell you how. And then look, yeah, he ain't gonna do it because of the police. And if notice, did he call you after you done that live? That's because he saw that live and he know if the police get involved in him, it could cost him his job and all that shit. Whatever he do, he trying to save face, bro. He trying to save face. He want the world to think that wasn't him. Now, I'm saying.
now y'all heard that right? We already know that these people is heavily involved with the police, Crown Plaza, on some kind of organized crime ring. There's no doubts about that, right? No doubts. So look, let me show y'all this paperwork right here, right? Let me see, can I find it for y'all? Let me go to her. Not that one, but this one. Now look, y'all reading this with me, right? I'm finna show you where the police screwed up at, right? Now look what the police said about Kenneka routes. The investigator arrived on the scene shortly. Sergeant Rose of the police department, Sergeant Rose stated Kenneka arrived at the hotel party at approximately 1:30, and she met with two friends and they re-entered the room, leaving Kenneka Jenkins in the hallway. Right? Y'all see how they reading. When they returned, Kenneka Jenkins was no longer present in the hallway. Match up with the story when Irene said, park in the parking lot. Then you got Monica talking about me and Kenneka about to come outside. You see what I'm talking about? So look, That means if Kenneka Jenkins first went in that room, she knew it was over with, and she was trying to make her way out the room, and they had to drill the girl up before she even want to turn back around and leave out the room. So watch this. They said she was no longer in the hallway. Family report for the missing. The police returned to the hotel and began to search the ground descended. Watch this. During the search, a hotel security guard located Kenneka in the kitchen. That is the assistant beverage manager. He's security too. That's why they put him as a security guard. Then they had to switch up his job title was like, well, he the assistant beverage manager. So keep this in mind, right? They really just told on themselves. That's how you know security guard know where to go locate Kenneka Jenkins came. Cause he the one watching the camera. They all watching the camera, so they know, right? Check this out. They notified the officer at the hotel, the investigator office. Hold on. They wanted the footage. They report the following. Watch this game. They said she was first observed 3:32 in the morning as she walked down a hallway leading to a posted private area. Watch this. She also walked it. The officer stated she looked extremely intoxicated and banging into the wall. Then she entered the private area, walked it down a hallway and down a staircase which lead to the loading dock and kitchen area. Then I told y'all that, look, when you go to the layout, what I show y'all about the layout, right? You will understand what they said when she walked down the hallway to a private area and down some stairs. What that sound like? A basement. There's no doubt in mind that the girl was in the basement. And look where they started from. 3:32. 3:32. They didn't even mention her getting off on the elevators. They said she was first picked up at 3:32. So how would they would see this at one something when she met up with friend because of the night 4 camera? What they caught. So leave that out the paperwork and start from in the kitchen. So you skip the whole fucking surveillance footage. So what they did, they skipped the whole surveillance footage and started from 3 something in the morning and showed you and told everybody she in the kitchen walking past employees. And keep this in mind, there will be a kitchen downstairs, right? Because we see employees working in the kitchen downstairs. So she walked down into a private area where the office station looked extremely intoxicated, and she entered a private area and walked down, you know what I'm saying, the stairwells and all this old shit, right? Hold on, gang. I'm finna show y'all this. I'm finna show y'all this right quick. Of the fucking map. Alright? Let me turn this off. Hold on. I'm gonna turn this off. Turn that off. Not that one. Now look. Check this out. Y'all see this route right here? Now, Kenneka would be roaming right up in here. So check this out. If Kenneka was spotted right here going into the kitchen, how far is the trash dock? Look, and then look, here go the kitchen, right? They ain't tell you about this kitchen. Why they didn't tell you about this kitchen? Remember, they had Miss Teresa in the ballroom right up in here by the kitchen. So look, when Kenneka was in this area right here, when I told y'all it looked like she was coming out this way and going into this door. So that means that Kenneka was coming out this way, went through that ballroom, because we see that's where the manager went to. That's where the manager was getting all the bed sheets from and all this. So look, top of this screen, if she made it out this way, that's why the fight would be this way. And the trash dock would be right here. You see what I'm saying, gang? So when you go back to this shit,
Saying that to say this, bro. Straight drop them, bro. It's 99.9% that they was there, bro. Yeah, they were. Lamb suckers were there, bro. We already put in the work to prove that they were there. They were there.
now check this out, right? This all we need to do. Put the timeline together. If you don't have the timeline figured out by now, you might don't want justice for Kenneka. You might just will help stir the narrative up. Cause look, everybody knows she been moved. Even even when you look at the picture, it's proof on the body that the body been moved. And I'm trying to show everybody what the evidence look like. Cause check this out. If you did the research I did, you would know what the evidence would look like and know how to prove how the body was moved and what positioning the body was on. It's the reason why they put her jacket back on, right? It's the reason why they put her jacket back on. If you know how crooked police work, because it took me long to figure this out. I'm like, damn, that's why they had to put her clothes back on, because I bet you she had bruises on her legs. Her hands was handcuffed or zip tied. That's why she couldn't even put up a fight. You see what I'm talking about? At one point in time, somebody zip tied her arms up, and you could actually see the zip tie around her fucking arms. Like somebody had her behind her hands behind her back as she was walking in the hallway. That's what the vibe that I got, right? So look, keep this in mind about the whole timeline. Cause right now, the time is the key word. It put the police there as a in the cover up. Look.
Clown. She the one who behind. Come on, get straight drop in. Tiffany Draper, the one that's behind the Kimberly Lou page.
Now think about this. He was supporting Straight Drop, right? That's why he said get Straight Drop in here, right? So look, he finna tell everybody who really behind the Kimberly Wiles. Kimberly Wiles, everybody should know who Kimberly Wiles is. But look, I know who Kimberly Wiles is, right? So there's somebody behind that page trolling on the Kenneka Jenkins account. You see what I'm talking about? Kimberly Wiles could be straight drop, right? Whoever it is got knowledge of what happened to that girl and know how to mislead the people because they didn't watch the footage, right? So look what he about to say.
Tiffany Draper is the one of the people or that behind the Kimberly Lou page. Kimberly.
And you heard what he just said? She one of the people behind the Kimberly Wow. So he just told you it's multiple people on this fake account, right? So think about that. Think about that, right? That's why you got now. Once you think about that, think about when I went live and showed y'all that lady was trying to get me to throw that narrative out there, that whole shit that I had read on my last live. Now think about that tactic. You see what I'm saying? Whatever sound good to them, they finna put it out there so everybody can follow along with this dumb ass theory. Cause keep this in mind, watch this.
Styles, whatever the bitch name is, Tiffany Draper, yeah, she's one of the people that's behind that shit.
How do you know?
Man, I'll get into that later. But I'm just.
You notice, bro. See, Miss Barbara whole thing. No, go ahead.
Like I was telling everybody last night, this the most important part of the footage. This is the most important part of the footage, right? And I'm gonna say this again. And I'm gonna say this again. There's Chloe, there's Zillion now. Look who they walked in with. Look, check this out. Where was these two motherfuckers was at when Kenneka was at the back door, and the people they came in with was at the back door, right? Check this out. This the most important part of the motherfucking footage. And guess what time this is? One song. Now look, if they came in with these three girls, why the fuck they didn't leave out with them? My point exactly. And this at one song.
Oh, and if we'd have knew that, bro, we would have said that to one of them. Especially that dude we caught in the corner of vacuum and whatever he was doing. And when he asked me why I ain't worked there no more, and I told him I ain't like the treatment, I would have mentioned that. I would have said because, man, when I was working here, man, they made me sign a contract for my paycheck, and I ain't like that.
Now that's Marco J. Now watch this. Check this out. What y'all think he talking about when he said he caught the dude vacuum cleaning? Right? You see what I'm saying? Check this. This another important part of the case. Why he said he caught the dude in the corner vacuum cleaning? What time you would see all of this going on? At 12 something. 12 something. Right? That's why Marco and Jay admitted that, man, I ain't want to work there no more because they playing with my money. They done made us sign an agreement holding our check because of this Kenneka Jenkins shit. Right? So they even still thinking about the money right now. That's cold, gang. That's cold blooded. Watch this.
Hello, my name is Gray Hughes. Not Matthew Rose, as Kate 420 and straight dropped on his head would have you believe. They will have you believe just about anything because they know you want to believe it. My videos are about the truth. I presented you the facts as they are laid out. I will not sell my soul for views in any case that I make videos for. Today's video will be about the security guards' movements between 12 a.m. and 7 a.m. on September 9th, 2017. If you want the movements outside of that range, do the damn research yourself. This took me over 30 hours to put together, so I hope you appreciate it. Now with that, let's get started on the video. Okay. You know, like all I do is I'm making videos because I see a truth out there that you're not sharing with the rest of the people. They're just seeing the garbage that you're laying out. You guys are an absolute embarrassment, and you should be ashamed of yourselves, both of you. You know, I've already gotten 3 phone calls from people and hate messages, all because of you clowns. Okay? And I'm keeping track of all of this stuff. And if something happens to any of these people, me or them, well, we're going to know where to look. All right. So here we go. All right? We are going to talk about the security guard surveillance footage.
Now keep in mind, we know how to watch the footage now. We should have the time down pat right now. We should have the time down pat right now. It shouldn't be nobody in confusion watching these videos. You see what I'm talking about? It should be no confusion. It's 5 years. If you ain't learned nothing about this footage in 5 years, you don't give a fuck about the case and you ain't trying. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need you to get out the way because you taking up space. You see what I'm talking about? Now look, I'm gonna play this video and I want everybody, cause look, I even got friends K letter. I even read the letter many times to y'all, so y'all should have that embedded in your head. So when you watch this footage, once you watch this footage, you will see exactly how I put it together and trying to show what's really going on. Check this out, guys. All right, gang. Check this out. Now look, boom. If you understand why he putting on his jacket, but this could have been one of the look when he put his jacket on, stuff like that. That's when Kenneka must had to be in the pool at that moment. Cause look, he said when he went to the parking lot, that's when he got the call and saying come to the pool quick. So we seen him go to the parking lot, come back in, go behind the office, and when he go behind the office, he said this one he had to get his thoughts together, right? Keep in mind at the bottom of the screen is not going on at the same time what you think it is. So boom. But keep this in mind. Show her walking around this time. Show her what. That's when he finna go upstairs and get the friends. Cause that's when they instructed him to go upstairs and get the friend. Cause he said that's when he get the call to come to the pool quick, right? So boom. Now you finna see how the footage finna roll now. 218, 220, 227, right? Now look what you see. This the lady that called Zach and told Zach and warned Zach about him. So if Kenneka in the pool barely breathing and already been beat up, this lady said it was a lot of people there for organ harvesting and stuff like this. There'll be a perfect time to see them on the footage. You see what I'm saying? There'll be a perfect time for you to see them on footage. So if that lady warned Zach about this dude with the red striped shirt, then look at Joe's Coleman, and we know he down with the organ harvesting because he looking for kidneys for his friend named Mike. You see what I'm saying? So we know what Joe Coleman is all about. So bam, once you think about the Mona Lisa, the Monday Lisa, that's why he said what he said on the night when they were joking about it. What's up with the girl with the mess up hair? So he already knew her hair was messed up before anybody even know it. So he made a post about that. So check this out. Now look at the parking lot scene. Now you understand where everybody coming from and where they going. And keep this in mind. You see Mariah now. Now, once you see Mariah now, right? Y'all see what time they say? We know Mariah now. Look, once you go to her timeline of the photo, look, they in the parking lot. So once you go to the timeline photo, you should do what I'm doing now and be like, why? You would be like, why Mariah and them in the parking lot? In the parking lot. If now y'all see that, right? Boom. Now look, you got this going on while Mariah and them in the parking lot. Y'all see the time on her, right? They'll be at 3:59, right? Check this out. Well, 2:59 with the hour pushed back. So this would be round about this time. Now look, you got Mariah. Look, they go Mariah now, right? There she go at 3:52. So we know she walked out this front lobby door just to be seen in the parking lot. So boom, this will be round about the same time. Look, if you see the time on her game, right? All right, let me show you this. Watch this guy how I'm finna put this together for y'all. Now this how you put suspects in crime scene, right? And I'm gonna show y'all King Rob knew exactly what he was saying when he exposed everybody, including himself. He knew what he was doing. At that time when he was making that video, in his mind, he couldn't give a fuck if he rat everybody out, including him. He had his mind frame like shit. If I'm busted, I'm taking everybody down with me. So that's why he got to talking about that back door. Hold on, let me find the video. Check this out, gang. So you got Mariah right in the parking lot at 2:59. 2:59. Uh-oh, we got it coming up now, guys. It's finna come up now. Right here, gang. Look, watch what I'm finna show you. Look, see that? See that, gang? Look what time it is. 2:54. So if you seeing this go on round about this time, and you say Kenneka was assaulted, look, look. So this the proof that you need. Got Scholar, Mariah, and two other girls from this side and walking to the garage or to the back door. Either way it go, that footage just gave it up. Boom. See that? It's 3 o'clock now. Don't it make sense? It's 3 o'clock. Look how Bree don't want to be nowhere near Friends Cave, cause Friends Cave ain't a part of what they got going on. You see that? Then they walking with suspects on the camera. It ain't no look. Once you read these, look what this say. Look, this at 3 o'clock. So the police encourage them to look, type on your phone saying y'all can't find Kenneka because they'll be part of your alibi that you didn't know what the fuck was going on. So when people go to the footage and actually see y'all on the footage, they would think that y'all actually looking for her. Right? And then the people they'll go for it will be like, well, how they looking for her if they on the footage going this way? See what I'm talking about? That's why you got to filter the lie from the truth. 3 o'clock. If the manager then went and got them out the room and told them come to the pool quick, cause y'all need to get that body out the pool. So the police telling them are gonna be texting like y'all can't find her. Cause keep this in mind, they supposed to be they in the same building. Why the fuck they texting each other in the first place? If it's anything, everybody supposed to be in groups, walking around looking for her. You see what I'm saying? But that case, it wasn't. So if you still think they were looking for her, good luck with that theory. But check this out. They got the smiling faces on there. Find Kenneka smiling. I can't believe y'all lost her. Bitch, we done searched this bitch from top to bottom. You see what I'm saying? So now you should understand the whole text when it come to that, cause that's they proof for getting that's they weighing and trying to get everybody to be convinced on this shit. Look, she was real drunk and shit. She didn't talk to no boys. Keep this in mind. They texting each other. It shouldn't be that. If I'm in a hotel and my nigga missing, you will see everybody with me. We won't be no motherfucking Texas or none of this shit, right? So look, when you read this at the bottom, look what the bottom said. Look what the bottom said. Hold on, gang. It's been 3 hours. It's been 3 hours. They go back to 1 o'clock. They go back to 1 o'clock when it was going down. So if you got these texts and all this, it will throw you off about what really happened at 1 when she came out the room. Now look, oh, she in her own car. She knew she had a donut on it. I'm gonna tell y'all what time that was.
So I met Kenneka through y'all. It was used to be just us. Always just us. We never hung with nobody until she said she wanted a new friend. And when she got new friends, me and her fell out because I ain't like bitches. That's what happened. When she started making new friends, me and her fell back off each other. I was drunk. I was drunk as fuck. It was me and her drinking a filth to ourselves, basically, really, because Shamaya really ain't drink shit. But y'all want to be on Facebook, steady pointing fingers, steady saying, oh, you was the last person with her, oh, it's your fault, all that. Man, I don't give a fuck about none of that. And I was thinking that. When she went in that room with us, I'm thinking like, oh, let's go look for her. She probably somewhere sleep on the couch or somewhere. She went in the car. But I guarantee you not. Me, Shamaya, and Riri, we looked for her. We was in places we weren't even supposed to be. Then, who gonna think they best friend finna come up missing anyways? As when we couldn't find her, I wasn't even thinking like something happened to her. I'm thinking like she drunk, she somewhere in the car sleep, or she in the hallway just sleep or something. Y'all getting on here steady saying Monifa, it's Monifa's fault. She was the last one with her. I might have been the last one with her, but I ain't killed my best friend. I know that much. And everybody always talking about what happened. What happened? I don't know what happened to her. I can only know what I remember.
All right, Monifa said all that just to throw everybody off. We know that's a lie. We already know that's a lie. We already know that y'all set that girl up and did what y'all did to that girl. They had to come on social media and say all this dumb shit to confuse the narrative even more so nobody won't figure out they was in cahoots with the police and Crown Plaza setting up people for money. Ain't no way Crown Plaza would allow this to happen if they didn't have nothing to do with it. If they didn't have nothing to do with it, man, it would have been the feds, police, all kind of police agencies surrounding their goddamn building, locking motherfuckers up. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So once you look at it like this here, what y'all think he watching? Now look, what y'all think he watching when I show y'all this? When you see this, you go to this, right? And I show y'all who was in the parking lot. Mariah. So what if y'all suspect this man was watching footage? This show you what he watching. The crime being committed. The crime being committed. This was exactly he watching. You got this going on with him going on with Mariah and them at the back door. Look what time it is, right? So everybody got to play it off right here at the back door. This King Rob favorite footage. I'ma repeat what he said. Yeah. Y'all look, he finna get the phone call, the dude with the hat. Look at the headlights going off. Look, you got the headlights going off. This could be a golf cart. I'm thinking this a golf cart, right? So y'all, they act like they don't even see none of this shit. So King Rod was like, look, that's when the dude get the call, right? This when Kenneka was fighting it. This where she lost her shoe at. That's how she got all that dirt on her cause the flower bed is right here. The flower bed is right here. This where she would get the dirt from, right? So this show proof that she made it outside because you see physical evidence on her clothes and the body. Miss Teresa knew that she came out that hotel round about this time. Miss Teresa know that, right? Miss Teresa, she even said it. How my daughter get outside Crown Plaza. Now, I'm telling y'all, this where Kenneka at, right on her. This where she at. She right here while they right here. Okay, so if you watch this whole footage, you'll start seeing a whole lot of movement behind this door. It's a reason why you can't see out this door, even though it's dark, but it's supposed to be a light shining right here. Cause ain't nobody, you know what I'm talking about? You supposed to have a light outside this door. They're just like walking to the house. They're just like going to the gas station. They got all the lights off. You see what I'm talking about? So boom, keep this in mind. What time the paperwork said about the police report? Now go to this. Once you read this, that's why he said what he said right here. 3:32, she walked it down a hallway leading to the post area. So look, that means, watch this game. According to this paperwork, if Kenneka walked down a hallway leading to a private area as she walked it, the officer stated she looked at scream, intoxication, staggering, and bumping in the wall. What if that footage of her getting off? Now, don't even think about the elevator footage. Cancel that elevator footage. Go clean to the footage where she popped up at the staircase and ramp. That's why she popped up at the staircase and ramp. Look, because if she was in the pool, you know what I'm saying, badly injured, that's why they got her popping up at the ramp, trying to match what the footage showed. You see what I'm saying? So at this point, was Kenneka walking? You know what I'm saying? Was Kenneka walking at this time? She couldn't walk. That's the whole purpose. They beat the girl up so bad that they had to digitally place her on the camera to make the girl still walk, and the girl wasn't even walking at all. She about to lose her life round about this time. At this time, I hate to say it, but she getting the lights beat out of her. At this the time that she really need help, and they sat there and watched it. The police sat there and watched it. The front desk sat there and watched this. You see what I'm saying? Even in the reports, they admitted they watched the cameras all night. And they synced her on the camera. They said they synced her on the camera. So if they told y'all, look, if they told you she walked down the stairs to a private area, meaning she headed to the basement. She entered the private area and walked down the hallway and down some stairs. So she in the basement. And which lead to the loading dock in the fucking basement. And the kitchen area, meaning that this shit downstairs. The officer stated the video showed her entering the kitchen and walking towards the freezer. The officer stated that while she was not observed entering the freezer, although the reflection on the door was open, it was visible. At no time was anyone else seen with Kenneka Jenkins. I don't see how. Look, shit. You see what I'm saying, gang? You got him on footage watching everything. So it don't make no sense to be like, acting like we don't know what's going on. They caught red-handed, looking at the footage, watching the murder scene, contacting the people that was at the party, and they told them to cover it up. There go Monique and them right there, walking by the front desk, and this at 2:55, right? At 2:55. And look where she go. Look. This at 3:04. And keep this in mind. The witness said the dude came in with long dreads. Everybody familiar with him because he come to Crown Plaza all the time. And so when they made, check this out. Then these YouTubers said, Kenneka made it outside. The security when they got the friends from the room, Monique and them told them to come back outside and bring Kenneka back inside of the building. Why you think she out here? Right? If it wasn't true. Why is Monique and them out here? And everybody know they work there. No, they finna bring Kenneka back inside the fucking hotel. Alright? Look. See that? Look what everybody going now. To the pool, to the pool, and to the pool. So they went from the back door back to the front, back to the office at 3:19. So once you look at it like this, that's why the news said at 3:31, that's when she walked in the free. At 3:31. Now you know why they picked and choose their time frame. You see what I'm saying? Cause look at the time that's on the footage, and we already know it's an hour off. This bitch came from the pool area. This bitch was involved in, and look, she in the same lobby with these motherfuckers, and they act like they don't even know each other. And they act like they don't even know each other, right? So look, Front desk telling them where to go and how to maneuver around the hotel. This shit done got bad. But at this time, that's when they y'all went to the pool, seen the girl needed help. Nobody didn't even think about grabbing their phone, calling nobody, calling nobody. That's the most low down you could do, watch a person die, especially your so-called best friend. That's fucked up. You see what I'm saying? That's messed up. So that means that's why they went down to the basement. Look, you see what time this is? Hit him, Trey Gang. Hit him with this again. Pow. Look, 332. See that gang? 332, she walked down. So think about this. She ain't walking. Just say she being carried to where she at. You see what I'm saying? I showed y'all the timeline. I'm showing you the paperwork. And look what it said. She walked down the hallway leading to a posted area where the officer stated she looked screaming intoxicated. She wasn't intoxicated. She was badly beaten up. This way I'm looking at it, she was badly beaten up. So they led her down the staircase and railing into the loading dock where the kitchen is. The video showed her entering and being carried towards the freezer. The officer stated that she was not observed entering the freezer because they put her in there. Although the reflection though showed they opened up the door, that's why the door was visible when they opened, right? At no time, at this time, everyone was seen with Kenneka Jenkins. The officer stated that everybody that was seen entering and leaving the kitchen area. You see how when I read it the way it need to be read, look how it all sounds. So that means everything what this basically saying, her walking, going into the freezer and locking herself in, when in reality, they was doing it. That's why they had to go down on the lower level. So everything what we seeing right now on the footage, when what we just read just proved they was in the area where Kenneka was in the kitchen, cause the timestamp shows that. That's why they said, let's go with this timestamp, cause this'll be a delay. You see what I'm saying? So which timestamp y'all gonna go by? I'm going by the correct one. You know what I'm talking about? Boom. That's why they going down there to help move the body. They ain't going down there just to be like, ooh, let's go down there and see what's going on. That's why P said it's the same route where you get to your cars at. Cause it's an exit down here that you can get to the parking lot. It's the same route. Only difference is you just taking the lower level down. You know what I'm talking about? This where all the employees come in, and that's why they trying to get in that fucking kitchen. This shit like cake to me. Cause I had a hard time in the beginning trying to figure this part out. I watched this shit so many times, gang, and I ain't know what I would watch. I just know they in this area at this time, and it looks suspect as hell. And when Franz K sent me that letter, he sent me tons and tons. He saved me tons and tons of time and headaches to figure this out. Cause once he went I read that letter one time and went straight to the footage and couldn't even believe when I started looking at it in the time frame when everything was going down. It made her huge. You know, it made me. It just really opened up a whole lot of things to me. That's why they talking about it, pausing right there, cause you know what I'm saying. They got to figure a way how they finna do this shit. And then there you go. That's why we got the footage of them looking like they told Kenneka about it. Watch this. They all finna go out the lobby though. First, T.Y. finna turn around him and Peas and go out the front door. They finna walk towards the back door and turn back around and follow shortly behind them. But they still going and back into the kitchen. See what I'm talking about? Look. See this? Look. Watch this. If this at 3:32, let's bust the news up. Cause this what the news want you to believe right here. Boom. Now y'all see that? Now they got the girl walking in the freezer instead of being carried to the freezer. They digitally placed her like this to make it look like that she was walking towards back there, Jack. Now look how the truth matching up. 3:32. And who you got? Peas. You see what I'm saying? Come on, gang. It's in our face. The whole fucking time, and the time was just off. And that would have a lot of people thinking, like, I don't know what to believe. Cause keep this in mind. I know a lot of y'all didn't watch the footage. And since y'all don't watch the footage, you still gonna have your opinion, what you think happened. Because this what your opinion is, and this what you think. But you wouldn't think like that if you actually watch the footage. See what I'm talking about? And I'm just being real with that one. Because in your mind, since you didn't watch the footage, you're going to have a whole lot of questions of what you think what happened. And even though if I tell you what's going on in the footage, you still going to think what you want to think because you didn't watch the footage and you don't even, you know what I'm saying? So, bam. Look at this, right? Look where they going. That's why they kept running back. Cause keep this in mind, you gonna have to keep running back and forth. This stop you from walking around in the hotel. That's one thing they want them to do. Just keep walking around the hotel. So just tell them to go outside, walk around the building. Because keep this in mind, while they outside of the building, they got y'all looking inside in the building in this area. In this area where look, in this area and in the other kitchen area, and the time just gonna be skipping. And you like, damn, why the time will be skipping in the kitchen? I don't understand. But if you understand, if you look at this right here, look where all the time skip at in the kitchen. So it's like when they was coming in the kitchen, the camera was turned off, and when they came out the kitchen, the camera would turn back on. You see what I'm saying? So that means when they were walking in the kitchen, the camera was off. This camera showed them going to the kitchen. See what I'm saying? This camera then showing them going to the kitchen. So when they go in the back door, the camera off, they sneak in the kitchen, do what they have to do. When they come back out the kitchen, they cut the cameras off. And then when you look in the kitchen, you trying to understand, damn, the time skip. Y'all see why the time skip? I want to know why the time skip. I know why the time skip, because they just walked in the kitchen. Gotta cut the camera off and have them come in the kitchen and do what they do. That's why when Andrew Holmes was like, can't nobody go back there without being seen on the camera. He wasn't lying. You just need to know what camera to watch. Cause this camera gonna look. See this shit? Boom. Alright. See, look, like here it go, right here. Boom. You see that? Look how they all on the move together. Now, that means when they was walking back there, that means he must have let them in. Right? That's just show you prove he had to let them in. Right here, gang. You see that? Payal. And that's how they will be able to get in there. But keep this in mind. This shit up under construction and locked down, right? So wham. Like I said, gang, they caught with the freezer keys. They caught. Look, they so caught. You know what I'm saying? This. Look, that's probably why they had the funeral home to come and get the body instead of calling the coroner. Cause when the coroner comes, the coroner got to look. When the coroner comes, they gonna have to release that footage when the coroner get there, right? Because the coroner got to determine the cause of death. The coroner got to come in there, view the crime scene, take pictures, write their notes down, and then they got to go to Crime Plaza and say, hey, give us the footage, because now it's in part of a death investigation. The reason why they need the footage is to see if it's true or a lie that she walked in there. They ain't got no footage of her walked in there. So they know she didn't walk in there. Even when they go and look at this crime scene, right? Just say like they know this already, and we just not figuring this out. You don't think if the coroner would have came in there, he would have automatic synced the red flags, be like, hold on, the body looking like this? And you say, how long this body been laying here in the freezer? 21 hours. Well, where the pooling of the blood at? And then you examine the body. Now you found out that this ain't even a crime scene, and she was placed in her. So now you got to think about, okay, let me see the footage. Then once you go to the footage and exactly time frame, and just to see what happened, guess what they get? A lot of time skips. And you just don't really see too much on the footage, right? So now you finna have a hard time of proving what actually happened to her, but not really. Cause you can still come up with the cause of death and show you when she died and all that. Cause you got to drop the footage out to show that. That's why they had to go in and tamper in with that footage, cause they know people don't think about the timeline when it come to crimes like this here. Because check this out. Every time when he put on his coat and do all this, you know what I'm saying, running around and stuff, I know what they finna do. Cause they just said 347, right? So check this out. So when the coroner get the footage and be like, well damn, I go to her cause if I know she arrived at 12 o'clock and they told me she arrived between 12 and 1 o'clock, I need to see the footage then and go to the footage. Let me see her walk in the freezer. And this thing, you know, they show him the footage of her walking in the freezer, but don't go in there. So the next thing you know, as a detective, I'm finna whisper, you know what I'm saying, to one of my colleagues. Look, I think Crown Plaza got something to do with it. For one thing, the tapes is all fucked up and the time is off. So I'm gonna have to call in the feds and hire up people to investigate this case. Cause we thinking we dealing with some murderers, some killers that's working in the hotel. So now your mind finna go back to be like, bam, it gotta be a suspect that's working in the hotel. So now you got to do your real investigation, follow up with everybody's statements, right? See what kind of relationship they had before it led up to this. What would be the motive for her to come to Crown Plaza and this happen? You got to find out the motive for one thing. I don't even thinking it was about jealousy at all. It's just probably about money. Somebody work at the hotel, and the person that work at the hotel put them on some game about making some quick money. And the first thing they said, damn, they're making money like this. Who I can set a motherfucker up? So they gonna go. So look, they automatically gonna think about a motherfucker they ain't fucking with no more. Just like if Kenneka said, man, I ain't messing with them no more. I find out that I'm hanging around with the wrong people and I'm ready to change my life. So just like what Monifa said, she ain't like this shit and she already met new friends, and keep this in mind, they was all friends. So Monifa tried to pass it off like she the best friend and she just meeting Irene them, and the whole time they all friends, right? So check this out. As an investigator, I'm going to think, what was the motive? I know it started from these two high holes here. Who is behind them? Now you know it's gonna be males, right? So now you got to find a male that put that bug in their girl, right? For them to go along with all of this shit. Cause whoever told them to, you know what I'm saying, to make this happen, they felt confidence in doing it because they had faith and that they won't turn themselves, they won't rat them out. Cause keep this in mind, if it's about organ harvesting, if this about organ harvesting, this ain't about no relationship gone bad. I don't even think this shit really just got. I think this shit bigger than Mariah and Kenneka or the fight scene. To be honest with you. Cause keep this in mind, Crown Plaza wanted their body and they refused to even let the family walk around and search for the body. You see what I'm saying? They refused to even let the family be a part of the investigation. You know what I'm talking about? And then they been caught up. This is what I'm thinking. They already got caught for organ harvesting. If Crown Plaza was upon investigation for organ harvesting, how would they be organ harvesting in the hotel for it to be upon investigation? Somebody sent a tip and let them know, be like, look, this hotel is kind of evil. They doing organ harvesting there, meaning that they would have all kinds of medical equipment. Crooked ass doctors would be in here performing they little surgeries or whatever they got going on in this hotel, and they finally need footage to prove their theory, like the feds need cameras to be like, look, we think y'all doing this. So check this out. What if when this shit happened to Kenneka, this would be the feds' only way to get the footage and watch the footage? Because in the feds, man, they got more information that we know about Crown Plaza. So the feds already know if they've been organ harvesting, they gonna look at this footage. They already know who all the friends and everybody tend to the party. Guess who else they finna look for? Crooked ass funeral home directors, crooked doctors, crooked security guards, and crooked polices that's on the footage. You see what I'm saying? That's what they gonna be looking at. Cause look, them the main people they gonna need to get to solve this shit. Then and then and I bet you any kind of money it would have opened up more and more cases. I'm looking at this shit as like a detective, cause this how where a detective gonna think. Detective ain't looking at her and be like, ooh, look at the walls and look at this and or look at that. They ain't worried about that. Cause look, they looking about if she was in the pool, look, if she was in the pool, what style would be going to the pool? The same person that's lacing up his shoes like Monifa did. You know what I'm talking about? Playing with their shoe. You know what I'm saying? you got front desk finna go outside, right? Now look who all you see now, maintenance men. They just popped up out of nowhere, right? You see that? Maintenance men popped up out of nowhere at 4 something in the morning. 4:30 in the morning, right? Why you need maintenance man? Look who else you see. The same person when Straight Drop was trying to put in the freezer with the manager. You know what I'm talking about? Then look, watch this. T.Y. finna go talk to them. Look at Red. He already limping. You see that? And look, that's Irene them. Watch this game. And they all leave together. I don't even know where else to put this shit. They all leave together. They on camera leaving together. Look, I'm telling y'all, Prince K told me this in the letter. He said he told everybody, the friends and the maintenance man all went to the pool together to figure out. And then look, that's why he got coffee cups. Come on. Now think about who would lead the coffee cup. Everybody forgot the coffee cup. Come on, gang. Who got a coffee cup in their hand? It's gonna be two people, right? Cause we know Monifa ain't walking around with no coffee cup. We know TY ain't walking around with no coffee cup. We know ain't nobody in that group finna walk around with a coffee cup. So who left the cup? You see what I'm saying? Cause the coroner gonna have to look at all that. You got suspect leaving things in the kitchen. The coffee cup supposed to be taken in, and then either way it go, you supposed to see if they in the kitchen, right, gang? Watch this. If they in the kitchen and putting a body in the kitchen, and we know it's gonna be around 3 something. So you got to look at the person that's running in and out the kitchen between the hours of 3 and 4 o'clock with coffee cups in they fucking hand. In they hand. So Franz Kane wasn't lying when he said, man, when they was in the pool, this when the cover up again, that's when they start moving the girl throughout the hotel with the staff members, right? With the staff members. So that means when he was with them and the red jacket, it's between one of those two that left the cup. One of those two. See that? The same cup that look, it's the same fucking cup. Damn, I can't show that black thing right there. All right. See that? Look, they back down here again. Look, gang. Now you got them running back to the kitchen. You see that? Peas already went back there. Now he going back there again. And look who shortly come behind him. See that, gang? Now this will be at 4 something. When they calling Miss Teresa and telling Miss Teresa they can't find Kenneka. So what I'm thinking, I'm like, well, damn, they got the body already where they wanted to in the basement. I'm thinking the body still will be in the basement. So that means that they go to Red Jacket again, finna run across the parking lot. Y'all see this shit? You see this? This at 4:38 in the morning. Look who else you finna see. Oh, I ain't put that part in there. So look, once y'all look at it, that's why the news media want y'all to believe she roamed the halls for an hour. If you keep saying how was she roaming the halls for an hour, I'm gonna need you to get out my chat because you weren't listening. The girl was never roaming the halls for an hour. That's what the news said, and that's what the news wanted you to believe. You see what I'm saying? All because if you look, watch this. Right here. Guess where they finna show her at? Popping up at the ramp right there. Y'all just seen that. So look, when the police told y'all about the stairs and all it is, look, read this shit. It don't even take no hard comprehension skills to figure this part out. Why she popped up at the ramp? Why she something going on? Look, why you think she popped up at the ramp? This just to show everybody she's still walking somewhere in the hotel, and in reality, that girl is already in dire need. Cause this two something. This gonna be at 2 something. Remember, she already was down there at 1 something. You see what I'm saying? Now watch this. That's what King Rob said about the makeup and shit. It would make sense why he would even mention makeup, right? Cause look, it would make sense why he even make makeup, cause makeup hide bruises. Makeup hide bruises and shit. You see what I'm saying? It would make sense why he even mentioned it. Yeah, they had somebody come and do her makeup and all of this old shit. It makes sense. Why you think he's mentioning? That's telling. Cause when you go to Kenneka, once you go and look at Kenneka body, it do look like she got a little makeup on. You know what I'm talking about, like some mascara or some shit. I don't know what mascara is. I just heard women talk about I need some mascara, bitch. That's I guess that if that makeup could cover the female with freckles, goddamn it, that motherfucker could cover up with some freckles. Just imagine what it could cover up when it come to bruises. They do that at the funeral home. Put makeup so you won't see the scars and all this shit on the body. All right. So look, this when I was showing everybody how they edit the video. Now look, if you look at it, once you look at the video, you can show it in 15 frames, 10 frames, 30 frames, or 60 frames. Right? If you're familiar with video editing, you should know if you want the best quality of a video, You got to shoot it in 1070 HD, 60 frames per second, right? So if I got an HD, right, and my video showing crystal clear, all I just got to do, go to settings. Instead of running my video at 60 frames per second, show it at the lowest frame. Once you show it at the lowest frame, it's not going to run smooth and it's going to run a little glitchy, right? It's not going to run smooth. It's going to run a little glitchy. So once it run a little glitchy, you'll start seeing skips. Just say, look at the playing cards. And I'm going to show y'all the difference. Look at the playing cards when he deals the card. Look how 10 frame look versus 30 frame and versus 1 frame. You see how long it take filling the deal on the first screen right here? And look how long it take the deal on this frame and this frame. See, look at 30 frame. Look at 1 frame. Now look at 2 frames. Now y'all see the difference? 30 frames going smooth. 1 frame is real choppy. 10 frame is choppy. You see what I'm saying? There you go, gang. And think about the footage while she was walking the way she was walking. They fuck with the frames. You see what I'm saying? That's why when I pull up the footage and click frame by frame, that's why Kenneka looking like the way she looking. You know what I'm talking about? Because it's frame missing. And plus they already got the footage showing at a pole frame rating. Since it's already glitchy, then you just put a little filter on it just to blur it just a little bit, and next thing you know, you got good choppy footage. You see what I'm saying? So once you get the frames and the video quality down pat, now you will understand. You will know. Look, then you will understand why the video look choppy. Right? You wouldn't even say they edited no more, cause now you got an answer. You'll be like, I know how y'all did it. You just fuck with the frame, put it on the lowest setting, and then you got frame missing. So what they did was, god damn it, when they went in the frame and got the video all glitchy and chopped up, you know what I'm saying? Put a little filter, so you put a little filter on it so it could blur it up a little bit and go to the resolution. And you want to set your resolution low as possible. I think the resolution go down to 240. You know what I'm saying? You could go on your look, making a prime example. Everybody can go on their phone on YouTube, click on the video, go to setting, and pick which quality that you want to show on your phone. If you want to watch it in HD, look at it in HD. If you want to watch it what is recommended at 720, watch it at 720. And if you wanted to, you know what I'm saying, drop the resolution down, you know what I'm saying, to 420 or 220, the video gonna be choppy, you know what I'm saying. Video gonna be choppy and it's gonna be glitchy. So this how you want the video, you know what I'm saying, to watch. So I typed all this in when I looked at everything. Look, all you got to do is read this. This is what I did. I read this, went online and learned how to learn about resolution, frames per second, and all of this. Since I know this, everything what I learned from this, I could recreate the same video what they did. You see what I'm saying? I could recreate the same video what they did. And this what they did, right? Check this out. You want to know why Kenneka look big on some cameras and look small on some cameras? Cause once you know how to edit it and learn from it, all you just seeing is the footage stretch, right? Just say if you draw a picture on a balloon without it being blowed up, right? You could draw a stick man on the balloon. Once you put her in there and you expand it, watch how this stick man finna become larger and larger. He ain't gonna be the same size, right? So all they did was, you know what I'm saying, when they scratched it, all they did was just making it more choppy and glitchy and it's and erasing people out the fucking footage. You see what I'm saying? That's simple idiot. But you got people out here will make it confused, be like, well, look, you know what I'm talking about. This now check this out. He already told Friends K. Friends K already told him about the kids. I watched it him. Cause keep this in mind. This reason, look, if you watch this footage and be like, I want to know what they talking about, your instinct will tell you what they talking about, and you watch the whole footage, you know what I'm saying? It will confirm what they talking about. You see what I'm saying? Cause why you think Friends K was talking to these people in the dark? When Friends K was talking to this lady, Lenny and them came and broke it up on the camera, right in front of the camera. Told them folks they had to look, break this shit up. That's why they kept Friends K behind the office. Now, ask me this. Trey Gang, they sure did have Friends K behind their desk like he was a child, like he a troublemaker. Definitely, they got him behind their front desk, keeping an eye on him because he got loose lips. He gonna talk. That's the reason why he reached out to me. Because he wanna talk. He wanna tell everybody what happened to this girl. But you got other people don't want y'all to believe nothing what this man said. You got people don't want y'all to believe none of what this man said. And people, and they want y'all to believe like this letter is hard to put together on the footage. They want y'all to be still in confusion and still think what you want to think. If it was up to me, how the way I want to, if it was up to me, how if I want to explain this case, I would have been like this real well, this what I think happened. You know what I'm saying? I think Kenneka was in that motherfucker fighting and all this shit. Nigga pulling out guns and telling everybody, look, this is finna go down. You know, you got niggas in the room with guns. They pulling guns out on that ring and making them and forcing them to do something. If I want to tell it my way, you know what I'm saying? I could come up with a story like this here. Boom. They set Irene up. They set Irene and Kenneka friends up. They didn't know what going on, but them niggas knew. And when they came in that party, when they dropped them guns on and told them this what it is and all it is, they felt bad. You know what I'm saying? Irene got scared and started going live, all nervous and glitching shit. And Monifa, and they was in Monifa ear telling her what they was gonna do. They didn't ask her shit. They just told her, bitch, you finna get your friend and bring her out this room because we want her. You know what I'm saying? I can make a whole story of just putting it on these niggas in the hotel. If Marco worked there and all this old shit, Marco worked at the hotel and got all these folks room booked and everything and set those girls up just for her, you know what I'm saying? And put it off on them. It could be Marco telling them, yeah, we finna shoot a movie and I'm gonna put y'all in the movie. And they could be actually filming the scene thinking it's part of a movie skit, but it's a real fucking action going on. What if they told, you know what I'm saying? What if they told them, look, I'm gonna need a fight scene by the pool and this thing, they thinking they finna do a little slap box and this thing, it's a murder going down on tape for real. It's a lot of ways that I can go with this shit. You see what I'm saying? Cause nobody was scared of the staff. Nobody did try to run and be like, well, damn, they killing motherfuckers in the hotel. Let me get out of here. Everybody stayed behind. If I knew this shit was going on in the hotel, like, damn, they killing motherfuckers in here, man, let me get the fuck out of here. The first thing I'm finna do is get the fuck out of there. You see what I'm saying? I don't want no positive shit. I ain't down with this shit. But all this shit went down with one girl. One fucking girl. And if they did this, it ain't no telling how many bodies actually they went through this shit in their hotel that same night. You see what I'm talking about? That's all I'm saying. Cause keep this in mind, them niggas got guns. You know they came to the hotel with guns. So why wouldn't I think like they set Irene and Monifa up and you know what I'm saying? They could have all got raped in that job. To be honest with you. They could have got Monique for Monique. You come in the room with me because you finna eat this dick up. Take Bree Bree with you. She look, Bree Bree, you go eat this dick up. She might you finna go in there and eat some groceries. You see what I'm saying? Now everybody in there, you know what I'm saying, getting violated. And then turn around and make them move the body like, yeah, your friend dead. And if you don't want to die neither, you finna go put her ass in the freezer. So they made them do all that dirty work and point the fingers at them. And now they looking like, damn, these niggas set us up. You know what I'm saying? They set us up and you feel me? I can either go along with that shit. Or if I want to tell it my way, oh yeah, now y'all, the kidney was from Selena Gomez. No, it wasn't for her. It was for Miss Teresa. She was the one in surgery. She one needed more body parts and all this. And only person that would be a match is her daughter. You see what I'm saying? And next thing you know, now you got a whole fucking story. You see what I'm saying? If I want to tell it the way that I want to tell it. You see what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people there go for that and be thinking about it. So why we even put false narrative out there and you got the truth in your face? You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of ways that you can go with this case, right? Even the police screwed up when they were trying to tell a lie and ended up eventually telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? And then look, it was plenty employees that worked that night. You just ain't go see them on the camera, right? But you gonna see them first thing in the morning. You see what I'm saying? Look, keep this in mind. Everybody is willing participant. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is. And keep this in mind. You got to play cool on the camera, Jack. You just can't be all hot on the camera. So you got to play cool and like you working and shit. You know what I'm talking about? And stay off the radar. See what I'm saying, gang? All right. Look, this at 5. I mean at 4:11 in the morning. Now look, 13:48. Look at this shit. See that, gang? All right, 13:48. Look, 4:12 in the morning. All right, we finna see it. Okay, y'all seen that? There you go. Now look, when y'all see that man right here in the back, he pushed that gray bean back. So Lil Meek can grab that giant. Now watch what he finna do, y'all. When he come around that corner, y'all see the guy, the being back here, he pushed it over, and here comes Lil Meek. Look. Keep your eyes on the back, Jack. See that? Check this out, y'all. Lil Meek finna grab that gray cop bean. Back here, all the way in the back. Now look, I'm gonna go back to this. Check this out. You see when Franz came, look. You see when Franz came, watch this. When he slid that letter up under the door, guess where he finna run to? Watch this. He finna go back upstairs. When he read that letter, watch what he finna do. Watch this, gang. You see what time that is? 5:24. Right? Watch this. He just read the letter. And that's why he running. And now tell me what they was talking about in the kitchen. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying? Just like the maintenance man was behind the office talking. Look what they was at. Talking. An hour or two later, behind the restaurant, in the room, in the storeroom, talking about it. And look who told them. Franz K. Franz fucking K. You see what I'm talking about? This at 4:21. And then we see what was going on in the parking lot at 4 something, right? Peas and them in the parking lot round about this time. So they in the parking lot round about this time. Come on. Come on, gang. Really? Look, check this out. See, like this here, right? If you go to settings and if you go to the video quality, I got it live on my screen right now. If y'all see this shit, just for a prime example, that I can show you this. If you go to the quality, you got 720, which they're gonna be average. 720 is like what you like. You see the video on your phone, you see how it show good. Just keep this in mind, right? On your phone, it's gonna be it's gonna be on auto, but it's gonna give you the best quality, right? So the lower you go, just say if I go 140 fold, right? Look how it look now. Now you see how I look at 140 fold? Just look at the image, right? 140 fold, this the lowest quality you can get, right? You go to 240. Now look, you see how it's looking now? Right? Now you see how it's looking now. Look how I'm playing with the quality. Now, if you go to 360, now look how it's looking. Y'all see that? Look how it's looking now. Then once you go to 480, look how it's looking now. Y'all get what I'm saying? Look how it's looking now. That's what I'm trying to show y'all. That's how, look, that's why when that jump be playing, just imagine when I play the video, look at it. Look when I play it in slow motion. See that? Go to 720. Look how it smoothed out a little bit. You see how everything been consistent and tight? You see there? And then if I had, the higher you go, the more better and smooth it's gonna run. So this what they did. When Scrape dropped them, what they did, they will upload the footage on their computer screen. Then they record with their camera and zoom in all the way up while the resolution all the way down. And then that's where you get your blurry footage from. You see what I'm saying? And that's why it's gonna be pixelated. You see what I'm saying? And they did that on purpose. So that's why I say if you study this with the quality, you know what I'm talking about, you will understand how they edited to make it sure blurry. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they put it out with resolution. So boom. That's why the police want to talk to a cleaning crew. Look, he talking to a cleaning crew and told her, we need you to come back there to the kitchen. And she was like, all right, let me, you know what I'm talking about. You see that? See what I'm saying? Yeah, there you go, Ken. Those that make rap videos know all about that. So think about that's why the footage so choppy and all this. Cause look, you had people that shoot videos. They was a part of this shit. So you don't think Crown Plaza told them folk, man, we need y'all to do what y'all do. Get on that goddamn it and bury all this shit up. You see what I'm talking about? Pay y'all gang. So boom, you got all this going on. Look what time it'll be. Now check this out, right? I'm finna show y'all. Y'all remember if this time would be saying 12:35, right? And when you go on the other side of the time stamp, it's supposed to be an hour off, right? So this means it would be 11:35. Look at this. Why this guy 1:34? Why this time is an hour up? Usually when you have two time stamps, this time will be an hour off. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This another proof that they tamper with these timestamps, right? This the fire of man. Y'all like, share, and subscribe, Jack. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Man, Trey Gang putting in hard work. I'm trying to do my best to show everybody this what you can do on the footage. This how you can edit it. This what we need to go back with the correct timeline on there. You know what I'm talking about? This the way we need to be looking at the footage. Yeah. And then y'all know what's the crazy part about it? I could show y'all how they can edit it and put a filter on it like I showed y'all. And then a YouTuber would turn around and do the same thing and say, look, watch this. You see that? And you will go back to watching that shit. And I'm like, damn, I just showed these people what it is. Now look, if y'all know what time this is, 104. 104. So why she want his attention? Right? Keep this in mind. Ask me this, Trey Gang. Why that lady female manager trying to get the police attention and he don't want to hear this shit? Cause you know where the assistant beverage manager at this time? Do you know where he at this time? On the lower level in the laundry room. And she want to take him downstairs in the laundry room. Cause guess what the assistant beverage manager down there doing? Got tablecloths in his hand. Why would he have tablecloths? And how was the pool set up? Because they had it set up in the pool area. I'm quite sure they had tablecloths. So if something happened in that pool area and got blood on that tablecloth, you're going to need new blood. I mean, new sheets for that table. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? The crime was really downstairs. Pay y'all. Pay y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Appreciate that, Kenny, for the $2 cash app. You know what I'm talking about? Appreciate that. I got backwood for a game. Now look what's going on right here. See that? That's why he in this area. That's why he in this area. He got so many keys on his hips. You know what I'm talking about? He works security. He working security that night. Now you see that? And keep this in mind in the beginning. Look, in the beginning, keep this in mind. They told us this was the kitchen downstairs. Look, check this out. In the beginning, they had us thinking this the lower level. in the kitchen. Ain't that cold, gang? In the kitchen. We were thinking this was still on the lower level. Straight Drop Marco looked like directors and producers. Marco is the director and producer. Straight Drop just a whack ass rapper and wanna make it. Did you hear his lyrics? Ain't nobody buying that whack ass shit. You see what I'm talking about? They shit, goddamn it, Marco is not no goddamn professional producer at that. He a whack ass director and a producer. You see what I'm saying? Only a whack ass nigga like that would tell everybody some shit about Jalen Ford or Punk. Marco, when he come, check this out. When it come to Marco's story, look who he focuses on. The punks. Why? Cause that's his connection to those gay motherfuckers. He a thunderbooted just like them. You see what I'm saying? Look at the stories came with. Oh, the Jalen Ford story. I told y'all it was multiple lives they recorded and they had us thinking. So check this out. I wouldn't even be surprised Marco homeboy put the guns on him and shit. You see what I'm saying? Cause them his niggas that's in there, right? They probably be scared of King Rob. Look, keep this in mind. Y'all don't think they scared of King Rob and Marco. Keep that in mind. You don't think them little young girls scared of them? Yeah, they scared of them, and you got a whole gang of niggas and shit with you. You know what I'm saying? Cause when I'm thinking about King Rob hanging around those young niggas to fuck them nigga girls and shit. He like young girls. He like young teenage ass girls. Hot girls that like to smoke, drink, and car hop. You see what I'm saying? Now look, think about this. The manager wanted look, think about this. The female manager want to talk to the police and want to take him down a lower level. You got her pacing round about the same time at the front desk. So y'all tell me what y'all think going on right now. Look, and then look where he at. Look who you got down here. And check this out. That's why YouTuber look, gang. That's why YouTuber come up with a video and said that's Kenneka in that trash bag right there. Right? The reason why they say that is to get you off of him. You see what I'm saying? They got to come up with something to get you off of him. Cause if you look what time this going on, and if you know Kenneka actually was seen in a lower level, he's still down here doing some kind of cleaning up. Look at this shit. So you had YouTuber thinking, oh yeah, that's her in that bag. And if you watch the footage, you know what's in that bag. It ain't nobody. So look, these is not sheets. These is tablecloths. These tablecloths for a round table. So if you grabbing these in the morning, so that means what Friends K said when they had chairs and shit flipped over and all this, you got to give it new tablecloths and have somebody to set the tables back up while the police doing their investigation upstairs. But keep this in mind when you go in the kitchen round about this time, how many police officers in the freezer with her and where the rest of the police officers at? Right? They somewhere in this area. You see what I'm saying? Look at the other sheets that he brought out. Y'all see them motherfuckers kind of discolorated, right? Look. You see what I'm saying? So wherever this is in this ballroom right here. So boom, look. So he just went in that ballroom, right? This where he'll be at, right here where we seen them at. So when I show y'all the video that it look like Kenneka walking toward that door right there, it make a fucking lot of sense. You see what I'm saying? If this camera showed Kenneka walking down this hall and going through this fucking door right here, that's why she made it out. Look, think about it, gang. Kenneka right here, she not facing the camera. And once upon a time, she facing in the opposite direction and walking towards this door right here. So she go into this door. Once you go into this door, right, what he just did, look where you gonna come out at. Look, pay attention. You right here. Hold on. Look. Where I just showed y'all where Kenneka is right here. Now y'all see where this is. Look at it. If Kenneka was right here on the camera, she go through this door. She went through a ballroom. You just seen proof that he took sheets out of her and put fresh sheets in there. And I know she was in this ballroom at one point in time because the camera showed me that. Then you got a kitchen that's right here. Now you got elevators over here. You got some elevators over here in this area, right? And I'm gonna show y'all this. So that means Kenneka made it out here through this kitchen, right? And look where the trash dock is. Right here. In one fucking spot. Now, you can't tell me, you can't figure this out. How would she get to the trash dock? Look, you right here. You just got this whole square block to deal with. You see what I'm saying? And where this all located? On the lower level, right? On the fucking lower level, right? Put it together. So that means if that means it must have been something going on in the ballroom. She made it out this way to the trash dock, wherever she made it out there. Because she could have went through these doors. You know what I'm talking about? Cause keep this in mind. I show y'all about the ice machine. Look, this right here, this the ballroom on this side. So when you go to the map, boom, you go in the ballroom. So that means right here, this yellow will be the hallway in the laundry room. You see what I'm saying? Then you go to this shit right here. Right? You see how narrow this hallway? Then once you go here, this the yellow line. This would be the hallway. Boom. And then cut through here. Boom.
Alright. Now watch this.
You see that? You come down that hallway. Then the hallway got the turn. Right? Remember that hallway got the turn, and this way it's gonna lead you to right in the kitchen, right? So this how you would get to the break room. If you walk down this hallway, you can walk down here, keep going down this hallway, come down here, and go through the kitchen this way, through the hallway. You in the break room. You see what I'm saying? Look, green, pink, and red. See what I'm talking about? Now put that together with the police report said, right? And keep in mind, you go to pool right here. So we got the beverage manager changing now tablecloths right here. And remember, Prince K did not mention Kenneka walking in this area when he was watching them cameras. So what they tell you? Something happened in this area, and that's when they had to edit it to make her look like she walking in this area. You see what I'm saying? Alright. Then once you go to her, look. It's at 110. No wonder why the female manager wants some kind of attention that's coming down her. Cause look who come out this though. A maintenance man, right? And look where he finna go. Guess who he met up with? See? And look what's going on at 110. Look what's going on at 110. You see what I'm saying? So if a YouTuber got you focused on one camera, how in the hell you can know something if they don't show the next camera? They showing y'all one camera at a time and give you a narrative. You like, fuck the other camera? If this going on, it's supposed to be going down on the other camera too. You see what I'm saying? Look at this shit. Pay y'all. Shout out to the super chat. Shout out to the super chat gang for the $2. Pay y'all. You know what I'm talking about. So look, 115. Why you think the police is in and out this area? All they doing is going to Kenneka, where she was placed at, and running downstairs. And then look, and then he come back with his shirt untucked. And he going to the crime scene. You see what I'm saying? This is not Lenny. This man worked for Lenny. Lenny is his boss, right? So that means, uh-oh, he worked security. This his kitchen. This his area. Look, he over all the shelves in the kitchen. You see what I'm saying? So look, name one manager that's white in the hotel that will be there that night. Risco not white. David Pena not white. The female manager not white. Check this out. What only white manager they will be showing up at the hotel room? They said he was white with a deep voice. Don't it would sound like him? Who's in here? You see what I'm saying, gang? You see what I'm saying? Look, all they did was running where Kenneka at and run back to the real crime scene, which it was on the lower level. That's how she got up here, cause the staff never moved her up here. You even see Sergeant Rose even bringing shit to the crime scene. Look, him, the K9 unit. Look, him. He responsible for all the narrative that came out. He act like this was his investigation. Why you think the K9 was there? Right? So look, they just found Kenneka in the body. Where you think they finna go to? Guess where they finna go to, right? Back down on the lower level. Payal, Payal Jack, Payal. Look, they go to female manager. Now watch this game. This 125. Look, 125. That's why they keep running down her. Keep running in and out the bathrooms. Payal. Appreciate the thumbs up, gang. Appreciate the thumbs up. $132. Look, gang. See that? Uh-oh. Why would she be running down there? Look. Why you think she running down there, right? If you watch the front desk, you would know why she running, right? Look, boom, fast as hell. At 132. But Kenneka is in the kitchen in the freezer at 132. So what's going on? Then look. Here you go to look. Check this out, guys. Y'all see this? Now look. This the reason why Straight Drop went for France Cave. This why the YouTuber mad at France Cave. Because he told it on them. He did the right thing. He the only one that said something and got us on the right track, but y'all still letting another YouTuber bash him? That ain't even J for K. You see what I'm saying? That ain't even J for K at all. He the only one that spoke up and gave us hope in the footage. Not even hope. He gave us the real. You see what I'm saying? Just like if you watch the whole 36-hour footage and read Prince K letter, you might check this out. You might gonna be like, oh shit. Let me start my YouTube channel so I can spread the truth. You see what I'm saying? Cause you got it down pat, right? So look, they all talking about it. What time this is, gang? What time this is? Can somebody give me a timeline? Cause I know the time on her, right? I know the time on her. So look, once you know what time it is and what we all just figured out, you know what type of shit they on. Now you know why they in the dark talking. And watch this, and somebody watching this camera, watching them talk. Hi y'all. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, y'all drop those purple hearts in the chat. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, y'all drop those purple hearts in the chat. Hi y'all. Appreciate that, Pamela Harlan. I'm just trying to do my best. You see what I'm saying? I'm just showing everybody what I learned from the case. You know what I'm talking about? That's all I'm doing, showing everybody what I learned about the case. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but a bunch of crooked ass police officers hooked up with some gang members that know how to edit videos. Because you can't go to an outside company and say, hey, I need your help in editing videos. The company is not finna do that. So who will be your first observation? God damn it, Marco now. Feel what I'm saying? Now look, check this out. This how they get y'all. When I was coming out making a video about Friends K and how he was giving us the letter and shit, you got Clark Avenue coming to his defense, right? Clark Avenue, Little Meat Avenue. That's his homeboy. He was trying to protect him. Well, he was trying to make out a video about him like I was lying. He was basically putting out this video like wherever Friends K something me was irrelevant, I had the wrong person. And look how many YouTubers follow up behind him. Guess what he did? Took all my narrative. Once you go back to his channel, all he did, everything I took from the letter, because when I got the letter, that's when he came out of nowhere. And I said, aha, I got him. So look, when he tried to come, he had to use all my information just to build everybody up, right? Because everybody like, yeah, we on it now. So what he did, got the following up, and then once he got the following up, that's when he turned the whole narrative against Trey Gang. And that's when everybody started to be like, man, look, won't y'all just work together? And I'm like, why the fuck you keep saying work together and you know this nigga out? I know he a op. Y'all just looking on the outside looking in. Y'all don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Y'all don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You see what I'm saying? Only thing y'all just know about what videos they put out there. They just like y'all look. They just like y'all be in all those Facebook groups and all this and discussing it. What you think the ops doing? You don't think they read y'all comments and you know what I'm saying? See what y'all theories about and then make a narrative on the theory. And then next thing you know, y'all sitting up there like, oh, I was on to something because he's saying the same thing. Nah, these folks just went down your comment. You in group. They know since you leaving comments and telling everybody how you feel and what you think about the case, what's going on. So everybody like, yeah, girl, you right. I think the same shit. So what they gonna do is go along with your narrative, spice it up, make it sound good, and next thing you know, you thinking like, damn, I was right. So I know I wasn't wrong because he just said the same thing. You just don't know these folks be spying on the comments. I could tell when a YouTuber watch my video because when I get through making the video, they finna turn around and hit that live button and go over the same shit I went over, but dumb you down even more. Be like, look what I discovered on the footage. So once you put all this shit, look what I found on the footage. Kenneka in 3 and 4 different spots at the same time. That's clickbait. Now you finna get people on there, but you ain't explaining how that's possible. But then again, I could go on your same video and expose you, you know what I'm saying, and really could shut your ass down on this shit because you a fucking op. You see what I'm talking about? I don't give a fuck about what a YouTuber feel like. I don't care about their feelings. You know what I'm saying? Shit, as far as I'm concerned, them bitch could die slow. You know what I'm talking about? But keep this in mind. I got respect for anybody that, you know what I'm saying, they want the truth and nothing but the truth. It's not hard to, you know what I'm saying, be like, man, look, I'm finna just do my look. I have more respect for anybody in the chat if they were like, I'm finna do my own research. I respect you on that. Cause once you do your own research, it's on the 2 things that gonna happen. You either gonna rock with Trey Gang. Look, not even that. You either gonna rock with Trey Gang or you gonna expose Trey Gang. One of the two. You gonna have to make those 2 up. You either gonna rock with Trey Gang or you gonna expose Trey Gang. Meaning that, yeah, you gonna expose Trey Gang on his bullshit. You gonna pull up paperwork. You gonna pull everything up that I got wrong and you gonna present that to the people. Be like, yeah, that nigga was a fraud. You see what I'm saying? Or you gonna go and do your own research. Be like, damn, Trey Gang sure wasn't even lying about this shit. Man, let me see. Man, I'm finna show everybody this. Look, this what they were doing to Trey Gang, y'all. This what they were saying to Trey Gang. Not only they did Trey Gang like that, now you finna defend all the other YouTubers. You see what I'm saying? That ain't had nothing to do with this shit. You see what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about no views and none of this shit because I'm not no YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? I stand for the truth. I just want everybody that want to know the truth. You know what I'm saying? Throwing me up. If you just here for the entertainment, you got to go somewhere else for this shit. I don't want you. I really don't want you typing in my chat. I really don't even want to see you. You see what I'm saying now? You an unwanted guest. But if you come in here with your heads up with a clear mind and want to take it real serious, now I'm for that. I'll stay on this bitch. You know what I'm talking about? But all that rest of that dumb shit, I'm not finna entertain you because that's what you want. You see what I'm talking about? I can't tell you what you want to hear. This is like I want the footage to show me different. You see what I'm saying? So
let's go through this.
check this out, right?
It's not Little Meat
Kenneka Jenkins case, Little Meat Avenue exposed, Trey Gang exposed. So look, by that reading on the title, he still ain't even exposed me. But it says that in the title. See, you'll fool a lot of people that didn't watch the footage because this what y'all want. Y'all ready for a lie to be told to you. You see what I'm saying? This what happen when you go along with YouTubers, you know what I'm saying, and you don't know what the fuck they agenda is. You don't know nothing about these people like y'all don't even know nothing about me. It's people out here be like, Trey Gang, when you show your face, I'm gonna get on your ass because we gonna get you. I'd be a damn fool to show my motherfucking face on her. You see what I'm saying? I ain't scared of now one of these niggas. If they wanna see my face, they got to do a whole lot of research. You know what I'm talking about? Work for it then. Work hard at it then. You see what I'm saying? Do what you gonna have to do. If you feel that way about it, you see what I'm talking about. But I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. You know what I'm talking about? Man, look, this what I'm so mad about, cause I'm a real nigga. I'm from the street, and look what they got my mindset. They dumb me down like a motherfucker. Don't you know how many times when I'm riding with my homeboy and I show him a blurry ass image of Kenneka and I'm telling him, bro, you don't understand, bro. Look at these photos. He like, man, what the fuck is this? I'm like, look, now I got to draw circles around that motherfucker and draw. Look, I'm drawing so many shit around the body. He like, man, what does this shit look like? You trying to draw me a stick man out this motherfucker. I'm like, no, nigga, it's blurry, nigga. You got to flip the phone upside down and you got to do what he flip your phone, nigga. What's wrong with you? Man, you done went to gangster to the wangster. You know what I'm saying? I said, don't call me no wangster, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know I ain't no wangster. He said, you sure acting like one. You sending me all this shit. He said, the last time I seen some shit like this here when I was in therapy, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? And I was sitting up there talking to a psychiatrist. And he was telling me, what is these? Are these butterflies? Are these goddamn it buttercups? You know what I'm talking about? So look, this what we get right here. Yeah, they got me drawing hands and foots on that motherfucker. Look, I got so used to drawing on the pictures and shit. Shit, what else can I draw on this motherfucker? I done forgot I'm on the blurred picture. I done painted a whole portrait on that motherfucker. I'm like Bob Ross on that motherfucker. Look, y'all see a happy little trees. You know, we got happy little trees for, you know what I'm saying? We got to paint this happy little tree a little fella. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know how Bob Ross do this shit. Come on in here, my guys. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, this what you want to do. You want to brush gently. You know how he be talking on that motherfucker. The white dude with the afro. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the white boy with the afro. You know he cool because he got an afro. And he look like a hippie. So yeah, he painting all this. I got hands, foot. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I don't know what the fuck I draw, but it makes sense when you know what I'm talking about. And then my nigga looking at that John like, man, look, I gave up on you, you know what I'm talking about. They almost had a meeting about getting me about the game. They were like, Trey Gang, can you make it to the meeting tonight? I'm like, what's it about, goddamn it? Because I know y'all ain't trying to. Look, I had to bust up in the game and meeting. Look in my eyes. Tell him I'm straight, gang. Please don't kick me out this motherfucker. That's when I need y'all. See, they got to y'all too. You know what I'm talking about? Now I'm pointing a finger. Yeah, you nigga must be suspect too. You see what I'm talking about? So that's what they did. Pull a Bob Ross in the Kenneka Jenkins case. Yeah, let's paint little happy hands. And we got happy foots. Don't worry, gang. Just happy accidents. You see how he be doing? You know what I'm talking about? They pulling the Bob Ross on the nigga. By the time they get through with the picture, you gonna have little plum trees, streets, roads, houses, all kind of shit in there. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm sick of that shit. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, just think about Bob Ross. He the edit button. Yeah, let me put a little brush and smooth this out. Put a little hands and a little happy little foots. So next thing you know, everybody's seeing happy little hands. Oh my God, they go the hands. And then you go hear the foot. The next thing you know, I seen the motherfucker said this here, Trey Gang, if you listen closer, you could hear the footsteps when they were walking in the hallway. I'm like, really? For real? Shit, look, the whole video on mute. I'm still listening. But that's what they told me, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So look. So all you got to do, right? All you just got to do is just pull up the paperwork with the footage and all this and act like you J for K. All you just gonna do is read his reports and act dumb on it like, damn, I don't see the reports messed up. I don't know what to believe now. That's the only thing they can tell you. And this thing, you know, you gonna follow suit like, yeah, you right, because I don't know what to believe. It's just so deep. Nah, it ain't so deep because you just ain't just looked in that paperwork and just actually read and thought about it for yourself. I know I'm crazy, but I ain't the only one crazy. They more crazy than I am. Look how they did a real nigga. I felt so bad, got all these images in my phone. No lie. I had a female that I was finna hook up with. Since I'm so passionate about the case, I'm telling her, like, yeah, have you ever heard of this case before? She like, no, put me on it. I'm showing her pictures and shit. She like, what the fuck are these? I'm like, look, if you look closely, you don't see that hand right there. She looking at this shit, looking at me crazy, the motherfucker like, damn. Who the fuck I done went into? Now she think I'm a serial killer because I did, you know what I'm saying, meet this bitch, you know what I'm talking about, through a blind date and shit. And this the first thing I show her on a blind date, her hands and the foot, trying to get her like, yeah, you know, if you know the Kenneka Jenkins case, you need to get on this job so you can figure out they looking at me crazy as fuck. Next thing she was on the phone, be like, yeah, mommy, I'm here with a crazy nigga. We at this restaurant right here. You know what I'm saying? If I don't make it home, what you say your name was? My name Trey Gang, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know. Yeah, his name Trey Gang. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah. So next thing you know what I'm talking about. It's over with for me. And then I ain't even get a chance to hit. I fucked that up. All because I told her I seen the hand in the foot. So in her eyes, I looked like I was crazy. I didn't look like that real nigga I was an hour ago. You know what I'm talking about? Now she looking at me like, damn, this nigga really is crazy. I need to get away before it's too late and shit. You see what I'm saying? Cause next thing you know, I'm like, yeah, baby, you know what I'm saying? You wanna, you know what I'm saying? When we leave here, what you wanna do? You wanna go walk in the park? Mm-mm. Ain't no telling what happened in the park. I'm like, damn, what that supposed to mean? Yeah, you know, I'm like, well, shit, you know what I'm saying? You wanna, I don't want to do that neither. I'm like, what you, just drop me off at the police station. I'm like, what's up there at the police? Yeah, she told me drop her back off at the police station. Then when I get up to the police station, she got all her family there, strangers and everything. You know what I'm saying? Girl, get out that motherfucker right now. Then little brother and them coming up to me talking about, yeah, nigga, yeah, you better brought her home. I'm like, what's all this about? You know what I'm talking about? We need to be all to come together for peace and justice. And, you know, they trying to lock me up. So that's why I don't believe in the hands and foot theory no more. You know what I'm talking about? Because it fucked my shit up a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? But like I said, gang, this shit for real. Then when I go back to watch old videos, when they were really had the hands and the foot, I smoke me a big backwood and pour me some tea and warm my crumpets up, and I start reading the comments. And guess what they all saying in the comments? Oh my God, bitch. Shake that goddamn phone right now. I see them. And then you got motherfuckers replying, be like, ooh, you ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? And this thing, you know, you got another motherfucker responding, be like, damn, how to look at it? Well, what y'all see? And then you got another motherfucker in that comment, be like, girl, you gotta flip this bitch upside down. And they be like, damn, I did it. And then she gonna respond and say, no, you flipping it the wrong way. Like she's side by side with her. How you know how to flip these motherfuckers? You see what I'm talking about? And next time you know, everybody in there flipping the phone. Then I start reading like, damn, I need a new phone. I dropped my phone, gang, and I cracked my screen. Now they got people paying for phones now because they don't fuck their phone up. I fucked my phone up. I ain't never spent my phone before. You see what I'm saying? But they had me doing it that night. Shit, I spent that motherfucker around, that hoe flew up off the table and hit the floor. I'm like, damn, I done fucked around and cracked my motherfucking screen for this shit. But it's J for K. It was all worth it. And next thing you know, I'm at the goddamn, at the phone company buying a new fucking phone. Hey, what happened to it, man? I had to put a little spin move on it. I'm like, what you doing spinning your phone? And so now I'm like, if you fix my screen, I'll tell you. So he fixed my screen, then I go clean to those pictures. Look, scrolling up on that motherfucker. You see that picture right there? I want you to look at real closely what you see. And he looking at, he's like, all I just see is a blurry ass image. And I'm like, all right, now let me flip it this way. Now what you see, now I got the phone upside down and everything. Guess what he did? Called the police. Where I was showing him and shit, I started drawing little circles and squiggly lines and shit. And next thing you know, I see the police pulling up. You know what I'm saying? What's the problem? You know, he like, so I just feel uncomfortable. He talking about he see hands and foots. I don't know if he hallucinating, but I want him to get medical treatment right now because he ain't fit to be walking around here doing this shit. So the police was looking at me like, well, what's in the phone? So I'm looking in the phone. Now they really finna lock me up because they like, yeah, I see what he trying to snitch on our fellow officers and shit. Now they want to bring up old shit like, Trey Gang, what you you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what y'all finna do? Y'all ain't finna, you know what I'm saying? This thing, you know, they trying to snitch on me the roads, my like, you know, Trey ain't down here showing everybody this shit. You know what I'm talking about? And I know them YouTubers, they were mad as hell at me, because that's why I be so hard on the YouTube. And I'm like, you got me like that. You embarrass me. You know what I'm talking about? You embarrass me. You had me thinking, the way you had me thinking, I don't even let a female do me like that. Man, these folks had me thinking everything crazy. I was reading the comment. Boy, y'all was not gonna believe this. I done spun my phone, girl, and I got it. And they were like, yeah, you got it. I took a screenshot of it right now. And I'm like, damn. That's why my eyes so bad. I'm screeching them motherfuckers so hard. I'm like, oh my God. I can't see none of this. I'm screeching on them motherfuckers. Then I go to the eye doctor. They like, damn, nigga, you done got muscles in these eyes. I'm like, damn, I got muscles. He like, yeah, when you tighten your eyes up, nigga, that's why you got them fat ass bags up under your eyes. You done built muscles in them motherfuckers. Cause I ain't know every time you blink, that's like doing jumping jacks with your eyeballs. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now I got big ass eyes right here in them whole bad in the motherfucker. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah, he like, yeah, every time you blink, nigga, you putting a six pack on your eyeballs and everything. You know, I'm looking at this shit scraining real hard. Now you got muscles in them motherfuckers. Yeah, I looked in the mirror, I got black rings around them like a nigga hit me in these motherfuckers. Yeah. That's all I'm just saying, gang. They dumbed me down and had me. And sometimes I go back to laugh at this shit. Like, I can't believe they did me like that. Get that kush mad in the motherfucker, waiting on them to go live so I can hit that live. But you motherfuckers, yeah, you thunderboot ass nigga, don't y'all go for that shit. You know what I'm talking about? That's how my eye was looking in the chat. I'll be rich, you know what I'm talking about? That's how big my motherfucking eye was. With the muscles on the side of them jaws. Yeah. But, so, I was looking into all of this shit. Talked about the GHB in the system. You know what I'm talking about. All right, we got the GABs in the system and shit.
But that footage is it gonna settle something?
It's gonna settle everything, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna settle everything. It's the only thing motherfucker got that's proof, bro. This is the footage, bro. And motherfucker that's talking that shit don't mean nothing. Motherfucker got their opinions on the shit. That footage gonna prove everything, bro.
Opinions like an asshole there, like y'all.
That's why he said the footage gonna show everything. Cause look how you watching it now. You see what I'm saying? Look how the footage actually made sense now. Look how the footage did became to be some kind of proof and some kind of truth to it. That's why Killer said what he said. You know what I'm talking about? And that's why P's, look, and we know P's down there. Check this out.
They need to just drop that motherfucker, bro. Some type of footage that show a walking and doing anything by himself. Oh, just show something. Don't just gonna say no. Hell no, that shit bogus.
Just go off here, say, hey, just go off here.
See that? Cause he on the footage down there. That's why he got his head down and he quiet on that part and you know what I'm talking about. Cause when they talk about that footage, he know he on that motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, oh yeah, what you say, Ken Don? The ABCs? Man, don't get me started on no ABCs, goddamn it. You see what I'm talking about?
What I thought.
Hell nah, bro.
Now, whether something, and I'm saying this because the toxicology hasn't come out yet. We know she consumed some alcohol and was a little bit impaired. But at the same time, if someone had put some in her drink, the toxicology would show. We got to find out what's in their toxicology, and whatever's in there was in her system, then it needs to come out. Then if it's something illegal, the focus goes back to the room.
If he said if it's something illegal in her drink, right, the focus go back to the room. So that means, guess what that means? Reopen this case back because it was some illegal substance in the room. Now you got to start the investigation, right? That's why he keep mentioning the toxicology report. That's their way of keeping the friends in check. See, they told them to drug that girl. You know what I'm saying? So if anything get out of hand, they could easily come out with the autopsy report. If they got out of hand, they came out with the autopsy report and told the truth. Be like, well, look, we got her drugged up. Now what? Now we finna investigate your ass. But keep this in mind, it gonna come with a consequence. Cause now you finna have everybody be like, well, look, I'm finna go on and tell the truth. And it will really stir up everything. You see what I'm saying? So all they would have had to do was just play it cool, you know what I'm saying? Stay out the way and let him work his magic.
And the people that was inside the room, if they know something, they need to say something. That's somebody's child. That's somebody's baby.
All right, this is the second autopsy report. They changed it and found GHB in her system. They found the date rape drug in the system.
See that right here? They got that.
Hi, I'm Fiona. And this is a Trigang production. What is GHB? GHB, or gamma hydroxybutyrate, C4H8O3, is a central nervous system, CNS, depressant that is commonly referred to as a club drug or date rape drug. GHB is abused by teens and young adults.
Andrew Holmes look like he'll headbutt the fuck out of somebody. Man, no. Man, that nigga look like he a part of the goddamn barcades. Shoot, 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 shoot. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he look like one of those niggas that sing for the OJ. Chip a whore, chip a whore, chip a whore, chip a whore. Face ass nigga. You know what I'm talking about? He look like one of those old school niggas, you know what I'm talking about, be riding around talking about, you don't know nothing about that James Brown shit, you know what I'm talking about, ugh, give it to me. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he on that shit, playing that shit like, cause he still got the same hairdo when they was all on stage and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Them the same hair, the afro they were wearing back in the 70s and shit. You see what I'm talking about? He look like, check this out. And you could tell Andrew old school. It's like when he get out of work, he go home, eat his goddamn navy beans and cornbread, sit in his lazy boy and fart all night. You know what I'm talking about? He got an old ass lady, you know what I'm saying, at the house. That coochie ain't working no more. That coochie out of order. So you know he cheating. He probably be riding down on the west side, you know what I'm saying, on their little days off and shit, you know what I'm talking about? Playing some of those OJ hits. Shoot up, shoot, shoot up, shoot, shoot up, shoot. Papa was a rolling stone. You know what I'm talking about? All on the south side looking for victims and shit. I wouldn't even be surprised he'll be a part of some of them folk be coming up missing off the street. You know what I'm talking about? Cause all he got to do is pick his afro out, spray a little afro sheen on that motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And then look, if y'all see what kind of car he was riding, I'm like, damn, that nigga even riding in the old school. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah, he throw a little afro sheen on that motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about? Cause you know the police told him, they were like, yeah, I'm dead serious, gang. That's why he got to look like one of us getting on the footage with his little afro and shit, like he OG or something. Like, they can relate, you know what I'm saying? I look like they uncles and shit, you know what I'm saying? I look like they granddad. So they'll believe everything I say. But no, he one of those he one of those uncles, right? He one of those uncles and shit, you know what I'm talking about? A motherfucker barely see. You know, since you barely see, nobody don't go over his house and video be like, hey, Uncle Andrew home. Ain't no motherfucking nieces and nephews going over that nigga house because they know what time it is. You see what I'm talking about? They know what time it is. Yeah. And Andrew Holmes look like he'll go and ride down where the little boys at. Playing some of that shoot it shoot. You know what I'm talking about? Pull up on Lil Willie and them, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know, you looking for a little hot butt sex? I sure live. Jump in. How much the fees? How much the fees? You know what I'm talking about? So now they in there riding around trying to make a good booty deal. Like, damn, how much you trying to knock my ass off? Shit, they gonna cost you $100. $100? Come on now. I know you could do a little cheaper than that. Rubbing all on the man thighs and shit, looking in his eyes with that goddamn barcade music turned all the way up, talking about shoot. And then he trying to put him on the game. You know what that mean when they say shoot. That means shoot that thing in me. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, shoot that thing in me. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's the way I'm looking at Andrew Holmes. You know what I'm talking about? He riding around with Lil Willie in the car with one hand on the steering wheel and one hand trying to rub nuts. You know what I'm talking about? And he got the little nigga, you know what I'm talking about? Like, damn, let me out the car. And he out to get nervous. You don't be to be nervous. Just relax. You know what I'm talking about? Here, sip some of this shit. You know what I'm talking about? Now he in there trying to drug up Lil Willie. Now Lil Willie and that motherfucker look woozy. Now he doing 100 mph going straight back to Rosemont, the Crown Plaza. You know what I'm talking about? Cause he got a room in that joint. So next thing you know, they got him all on camera and shit. You know what I'm saying? Bringing the little boy in and shit. You know what I'm talking about? And he brought him in a wheelchair. He rolled him in a wheelchair. They be like, he alright, like, yeah, he cool. You know, then we got his ass in a wheelchair. He just tired. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Then he take that man in the room, strip all his clothes off, and put him some nice little panties on. You know what I'm talking about? Oil him up real good, throw him a little nice little couple of panties on. You know, if he really kinky, he'll you know what I'm talking about, tape off the nipples. You know what I'm saying? Expose his chest, but make little cover up the nipples, like put a little caution signs on the nipple, make him look real exotic. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he got him all on the bed and shit, you know what I'm saying? Post up, taking pictures and shit of other little boy. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm seeing all that shit. He look like one of those type of nigga. He don't want no girls, he want little boys. You know what I'm talking about? That's the way I'm looking at it, gang. I don't like these niggas. I hate them. You know what I'm talking about? I hate these suckers. I hate Andrew Home because his afro big as hell. He keep whatever he do, he keep that motherfucker shaped up too. Cause I ain't never seen that motherfucker disheveled or nothing. So he take good care of that goddamn afro. One time he took care of that mother too good. He was all on camera. I said, look at Andrew Home, got that whole all shining, oiled up and shit. I guess he must have look. But when he was on camera, he must have had some plans when that camera cut off. Cause he must have had a little hot date or something. You know, I'm like, yeah. So when they cut these cameras off, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he must finna get into something. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, yeah. And then come to find out, that ain't even his real afro. It's a wish weed that he done got off the wish weed list, and I thought it was his. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Yeah, he rolled up down on me and shit, cause I was walking to the store and he thought I was on the whole track and he gonna stop and know what I'm talking about. And he was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, what going on, boss? And he was like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I see what I like and I like what I see. You know what I'm talking about. I ain't no stranger. I ain't gonna put you in danger. He trying to make shit rhyme to me and hit on me like I was going or something. I felt bad. I said, damn, these niggas gonna approach me like this. I had to look around. I'm like, shit, nigga, the last time I checked, this ain't no bitch. You know what I'm talking about? And this thing, you know what I'm talking about. I had to he sped off. Look. He sped off when I was like, yeah, step out the car. Then I was finna go jiggle the doorknob and jump in that motherfucker, you know, and whoop his head because he tried to talk to me like I was a little boy named Junior Willie. You know, Willie Jr., goddamn. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah. Next thing you know, I got to call the law like, yeah, it's an old ass man with a wish wig on going around here talking about, yeah, you know what I'm talking about? He wanna, yeah. So I'm sick of this shit, gang. You dig what I'm talking about? I'm tired. Cause this Kenneka Jenkins case will push you over the limit. Cause at once upon a time, look at all the crazy theories that I was believing in. Once I clear my goddamn mind up and go back to this shit, I said I can't even believe how I feel in for this the first place. So I blamed the kush, the alcohol. I said I don't want nothing else to drink. I don't want nothing else to smoke and shit. They got me when I was full. You know what I'm talking about? I'm drunk and shit, and this thing, you know, they hit me with one of those little stories. I'm like, oh shit, what? Yeah, this thing, you know, I'm good. But that's all I'm just saying, gang. I had to snap out this shit. Real talk. Whew. And then, don't you know what's the hard part about it? This when I had to warn everybody else, be like, don't do it. Don't do it, because it's going to hypnotize you. I done had motherfuckers. Look, jump in my inbox, Trey, please listen to me. I'm like, look here now. What this shit about? It's about the hands and the foot. I said, man, I don't want to hear no more of this shit. I just broke it down. No, Trey, I went back over it and I looked over the video, man. You got to believe me this time. I'm like, look, you're high right now off the dumb shit. Let it calm down and come back to me later. You'll find out. No, you just don't believe what I'm saying, Trey. You need to go back and watch that footage. If you don't watch that footage, Trey, I ain't watching you no more. Give me ultimatums and shit. And I said, well, take your ass on there. You know what I'm talking about? Bye. I'll see you later on when I hit that live button. They popping up again, thinking I don't see them because they ain't typing in the chat. But I got an app over here. That motherfucker said, you watching. Yeah, you just scared to speak now. You know what I'm talking about? Because you like, damn, if I jump in the chat now, Trey can't remember all this shit. You know what I'm talking about? But, like I said, gang, like right here, look at all this shit that I got saved. Now look, think about the timeline when it come right here, right? Now when you think about Kenneka watch around 8 in the morning or 8 at night. Now when you see all this, right, keep this in mind, Kenneka is in this area. She in this area. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm like, man. Cause we gonna have to sit down and watch. Look. Oh, I ain't put the timeline in there. Boom. Now you see that. That's why he talked. Why you think he had to talk to the chef if he know Kenneka down there on the lower level? Now you understand why he got to talk to the motherfucking chef, right? So look, here go the police chief. This when Kenneka lawyer were asking them for the photocopy of the investigation and reports and the cameras. Know what I'm talking about? And guess who they had to go through? Risco to get it. So that means Risco was the cameraman that night. Already gave them the hard drive, which Rosemont helped edit it on the behalf of Marco and Scrape Drop. Two whack ass rappers. That's another reason why they need to be busted. Cause they help some whack ass rappers. They look, you help some whack ass rappers that can't rap, don't look good, broke some bitches. They got fetish for little girls, so that means I look at the police the same fucking way. You know what I'm talking about? They don't care because this a black girl. She should have been in Rosemont anyway, fucking off in our neighborhood. One thing what they want y'all to think like this here. Oh, you go into a black neighborhood, they got white people think like this here. They got thinking white people scared to come to the neighborhood because they gonna get robbed or they gonna get killed and all this. Which half of that is very much not true. You see what I'm saying? Very much is not true. And if you grew up in a neighborhood with some white people, ain't nobody want fucking with them white people, making them feel uncomfortable. If it's anything, they finna be like, shit, I'm down with y'all. Look at the female. She eating Roman noodles. Now you got white people in the hood eating Roman noodles and shit, talking like us and all this old shit. We ain't harming these folks. We ain't got no racist bone in our body. If anything, we finna teach their ass how to make something, shake something. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we don't grow up with no hate. But if you go into the suburb, look how much hate you finna get then. You see what I'm saying? The minute you step in the hood, you finna get harassed by the police, or you finna have somebody whipping down on you, asking you questions like, damn, you know somebody over here? What you doing over here? Oh, I just asked 'cause I never seen you over here. Black people don't approach no nigga like that in a neighborhood. You know what I'm talking about? So it's all the mind and illusion what you could put on TV and show people what you want to think. Just like they thinking y'all, every time you cut on the news, it's always somebody died. They make y'all think murder is the number one why people die. But if you actually look and read newspaper, what about all the people that dying from AIDS and cancers in the hospital? Why the young niggas killing each other on the street? You ain't go add that body count with that and look how many people actually dying a day. You know what I'm saying? You just seeing the murders a day. And they show you particular states like LA, Chicago, or Florida. You know what I'm saying? Or Atlanta. They ain't finna show you the whole 50 state that they gonna be breaking news 24/7. If they show you 50 news stations, guess how many breaking news that you finna get every minute? Every minute. Your phone will never be charged up because your notification gonna be going out. Boom, it's a shooting in California. Well, look what's going on in California. Bam, somebody got killed in Milwaukee. Damn, now you going to Milwaukee. You ain't gonna be have enough time to catch up with this story. Cause now another breaking news just done came. And then look, if you really want to think about it, we slick at war now. When the race is at war, a white person can get mad at black people, just go around and shooting us up. Shooting us up, right? But look where the gangs is. Where the gangs is. Now look, that just show you what type of mindset these nigga head is. Now you got a white man coming in a black neighborhood shooting up everybody. Where the gang members at? Cause they know not to fuck with that white boy cause he's already put the fear in them and not to fuck with these white people. You see what I'm saying? That's why nothing don't even happen to white people. You see what I'm saying? White people come in our hood, you know what I'm saying, and do whatever fuck they want to do. You know what I'm talking about? If they get wrong, oh, they gonna have to see us. You see what I'm talking about? We gonna get on their ass then. It's just like, if we go in their neighborhood, look how we on our best behavior in white folk neighborhood. Girl, put your seatbelt on. You got your seatbelt on. God damn it. Yeah. You driving and talking like you got some sense. Yeah. When you in their neighborhood, you got very much respect for their neighborhood, and they see the fear, they know that. So guess what they gonna do? Call the police on you, have the police coming out there, and the police know you in the wrong neighborhood. So what he finna do? Ask you a lot of intimidating that crap. What you doing? What you doing over here? You know somebody over here? Like you ain't got no right to be over there or something. Like this supposed to be private property or something. You see what I'm saying? If you get pulled over in the hood, what they gonna say? What you doing over here? Going to a drug house? Is in the drugs in the car? You see what I'm saying? But that's the kind of hood that I live in. That's what you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm used to. 'Cause when I go to the suburb, the police finna pull me over. Cause they already know what I'm finna be there for. Yeah, don't let that nigga come back over here. He taking all our snow bonnets. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm in the neighborhood now. I got me something light and bright and white in the car. You know what I'm talking about? Cruise around, make a Cadillac turn, slam turn, the trunk rattling this shit, the rims, zone beam, and the sunlight hitting that jump just right. And here go my ugly ass looking like a grizzly bear with this little pretty little thing on the passenger seat. You see what I'm saying? Whoop whoop. Instantly stop me and talking about, yeah, Miss Lady, you alright? Yeah, she cool. Why you ask me was I alright? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, I see why you mad. I see why you mad. Cause I look like a grizzly bear. You know what I'm talking about? Man, you want to know how I get something cute and fine like this? You trying to figure that part out? It's a, it's a secret. All thing you just need to do is sit back and learn the techniques, Jack. Yeah, I step out the car, they mad because I'm bow-legged now. You know what I'm saying? I got my, you know what I'm saying? My gaiters on. You know, I'm standing out pigeon and bow-legged and shit. You know what I'm talking about? I can't stop snapping my fingers, clapping my hands when I be talking this shit. With all these words be rhyming and shit. And they be like, look at this nigga. We oughta shoot his ass right now. And then he gonna whisper me, look, I heard the other police gonna tell the other police, you see that budge? He looking at my weight lines. You see that budge? I think he got a gun. I said, I heard that shit. It is my gun, nigga. This big ass pie stick I got it. Hold on, let me roll that John up. They were mad because they thought it was a gun. That man looked at me, that female flashed that lights on my nuts and said, what's in the old John? She ain't know his dick could get that big. She didn't know. She didn't know a dick could get that goddamn big in a pair of Hanes briefs. So she was like, yeah, we gotta search and these junk. I'm like, ma'am, that's all me now. She like, no, I believe it's a weapon in that motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? I'm like, I promise you, I said, look, it ain't no weapon. It's bunched all together on the left side. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm like, look, she was like, don't reach for it. I'm like, damn, baby, you know what I'm talking about? I'm like, can I scratch these motherfuckers? I got a little itch on these motherfuckers, baby. You know what I'm nervous and shit. You got the light flashing, you know what I'm talking about? Look, they got me in the middle of the street and you see nothing but the flashlight beaming on my nuts. Traffic riding around like, damn, he must got that pie stick. You know what I'm talking about? Look, I even had hoes pulling over like, shit, bitch, I got to see this. Shit, everybody got out with their phones and shit, and now the pressure on me. And they was like, Trey guys, reach down slowly, you know what I'm talking about? So I'm like, look, I'm reaching in my nuts now, you know what I'm talking about? But they told me I had to disarm myself, you know what I'm talking about? So I'm like, man, look, it's not a gun. So look, by the time I reach for it, you know what I'm saying? They get the shoe. Now I'm on the run and shit. Now I'm running. I'm hearing the police, drop the gun, drop the gun. I'm like, this ain't no goddamn gun, man. These my nuts, you know what I'm talking about? They traumatized me that night, man. I'm suing these bitches now, you know what I'm talking about? Then they had to bring the body cam in the precinct, slow the video down. They were looking like, no. Them is his nuts. You know what I'm talking about? They slowing it down. They got me running in slow motion. And they seeing the ball and Johnson down. The ball swinging this way, the dick on the other side. You know, you getting that whoosh, whoosh. Especially when they were seeing this slow motion. See, I seen one officer in there was watching my video and rubbing her nipples at the same time. We're like, good Lord. Shit, that motherfucker could do all that. And I was like, I told you, it was these nuts. Yeah, look, they got me all on audio. It's not a gun, you know what I'm talking about? They chasing me like a motherfucker and shooting. Pow, 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 pow. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But I got away though, you know what I'm talking about? I got away, gang. They found out it was these nuts for real. You know what I'm talking about? They had to bring a doctor in there. He had to tell that why it was so goddamn big. They were like, yeah, when I looked at his mirror report, that motherfucker was already 48 inches long. God damn it. You know what I'm talking about? They were like, yeah, this shit been going, this shit still growing. They had a ruler. You know what I'm talking about? They were pinning out. You see how that motherfucker muscle all up? Them the muscles they were seeing. And when he got nervous and he contracted these muscles, you know how black niggas, when they feel like they gotta talk, when they feel like threatened, they like to hold their nuts when they talk. It's a reaction. So they were like, oh, that's why he was reaching for the nuts. Cause sometimes they get a little heavy and you gotta shift them motherfuckers to the left side. I usually keep the nuts on the right side, cause that's where I be shining, you know, that's why I be riding and shit, you know what I'm talking about? In case Booth ain't want to rub the nuts while I ride and make Cadillac turn. If I'm mad at her, I ship them to the left side and make her reach for them joints. You know what I'm talking about? Don't be touching, you know what I'm talking about? So yeah, you know how that shit go, you know what I'm talking about? But yeah, enough of that though, gang. You know what I'm talking about? This what I'm finna do. I'm gonna end this live and I'm gonna go live in a minute, gang. And just to hang out with y'all and talk a little shit. I just want to get this little information that's out the way about the Kenneka Jenkins case and how to look through all the flaws and stuff. But I got to talk to y'all. We got to throw a big meeting so we can you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I almost caught a murder charge. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the neighbors had called on me and had the police showing up because they said they were heard screaming and hollering. So when they sent the police over there, you know what I'm saying, I opened up the door and shit. They see me all sweaty, you know what I'm saying, her along in the motherfucker looking like Ricky Fabio. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what's going on? We heard loud and screaming in here. You know what I'm saying you beating up something. You know what I'm saying? And they were talking about they would hearing the witness talking about, help me, Lord, you're killing my poo nanny. You know what I'm talking about? So the police had to come out and investigate. Now they were like, where the victim at? I'm like, what y'all talking about a victim? They're like, is it anyone else in the house? What you doing, nigga? And I'm like, oh my God, who called the police? And next thing you know, they done sprang on me, knocked me down to the floor, handcuffed me, and they looking for her. So when they go in the room, they see, yeah, she laid out, stretched out, still in doggy style, like, baby, that's you, you know what I'm saying? And she looked around like, what going on? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And they were like, he said, he did what to you? He beating up my little poo nanny, and they try to give me a charge. A murder charge at that. You know, that she was like, no, but I told him to do it. They were like, wait a minute now, you know what I'm talking about? What kind of freaky kinky shit going on with this? So next thing you know, now I'm on that bogus charges and shit, trying to kill that little poo nanny, you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But they told me, guess what they told me, gang? They said, I gotta go get a permit for this big motherfucker. The only thing I can tell you. They said if you gonna walk around this motherfucker with this long motherfucker, you need to go downtown and get you a permit for this motherfucker. So yeah, they gave me a little sticker, a little bumper sticker, you know what I'm talking about. The big kahuna on deck, you know what I'm talking about. Everybody honking twice and shit when they read the goddamn bumper sticker like, oh, there you go, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I even had a female officer pull me over. Like, read that bumper sticker. You ain't got nothing illegal in the car, dude. I'm like, I ain't got nothing illegal. She like, you got these nuts on deck? I got them on deck. You got your permit with you? I'm like, yeah, let me see your papers. Yeah, I'm reading all over my papers and shit, you know what I'm talking about? Flashing the light in my lap and shit. Making sure, yeah, it's the right one. What a sticker is. I'm like, goddamn, baby, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I told y'all when I went to Japan, when I went over there, Japan and North Korea and shit, when I was on the run from the United States on these drug charges and shit, when I went over there, they they look at me as like a god over there. They were like, there he go, there go the prophet. You know what I'm saying? He the chosen one. I'm like, damn, why they? And all the Chinese lady was like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They started chanting my name and shit, cause you know in America they know me at Trey Gang. You know what I'm talking about. But over there in Bangkok, they called me Hung Low, and they were like, Hung Low, Hung Low. Hung Low, and nobody didn't know, you know what I'm saying, was like, damn, why they call that nigga Hung Low, you know what I'm talking about, because that's my Chinese name, because when I had to pull down my pants, and they were like, ooh, we got a new name for you, We gotta call you hung low. You know what I'm talking about? Cause they said that motherfucker, when they, I ain't gonna tell y'all too much, you know what I'm talking about? But just read the book of Bangkok, you know what I'm talking about? They got the statue over there. They had to mold my shit. Yeah, so when you go downtown in Bangkok, you will see goddamn hung low statue, you know what I'm saying, in the entry, goddamn, you know what I'm talking about? Shit, look, they even got outfits for this motherfucker. I had went to one of those little freaky shops. I'm like, damn, they got a t-shirt for this joint. Shit, and a headband. Shit, I came out that hole with a turtleneck on one time. I said, oh my God, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't know they had clothes for this shit. I dressed my shit up. I went down that motherfucker, bought that motherfucker 2 suits and a motherfucking Bill Cosby sweater. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I didn't know that. I got a hat for it. Yeah. Man, let me stop playing with y'all because y'all crazy. You know what I'm talking about? I like having fun with y'all. You know what I'm talking about? Keeping y'all entertained and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Because I know we all be having bad days and stuff and we need to, you know what I'm talking about? But y'all like, share, and subscribe to this video. I'm going to go live, man, you know what I'm saying, in a minute. Yup. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had that motherfucker. I had a turtleneck on my shit. You know what I'm talking about? Cause keep this in mind, you know that motherfucker do got a long ass neck now. You know that motherfucker like a giraffe neck coming out that motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Shit. But yeah, gang. Appreciate the thumbs up. Appreciate the cash app too, gang. Appreciate that super chat. You know what I'm talking about? I'm finna go live. I gotta go make a store run, y'all. Give me some backwoods right quick, cause I ain't got no backwood. I got to smoke and some more shit. You know what I'm talking about? I just got up this morning, just like, man, let me hit these folks live, cause they cut my last live off, cause somebody ran into the light pole and knocked down all the goddamn you know what I'm talking about, the power out. But yeah, gang. I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Y'all be cool. Y'all stay tuned, and I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna be right back, man. What y'all say? They would love to see that statue. I know y'all would. Goddamn it, go to Bangkok. Goddamn it, it's like where that Hanlo statue is. First, you're gonna have to talk to a monk, cause nobody really look. You're gonna have to talk to a monk. Then he got to take you to the priest. Then the priest got to rub you down with holy oil and get all of the bad demon spirits out your ass. You know what I'm talking about? And once they get all the demon out your ass, then you can look at the nuts. Cause they say they don't want you to have a dirty mind while you looking at these junk. But they like, once you lay your eyes on it, it's hard to take it off. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I'm talking about it saved my life one time. Somebody pushed me in the ocean and I don't even know how to swim. I thought I was finna drown. But this motherfucker here started to float. So yeah, I had to, you know what I'm saying? So that what kept me from drowning, goddamn it. So yeah, if it weren't for that motherfucker, I would have been a drowned motherfucker. But since I was floating and shit, I just had to hold on, wait to rescue, get there, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm floating down the stream and shit. Oh my God, I'm headed toward the waterfall pit, you know what I'm talking about? Hell yeah. Yeah, I started to float, goddamn it. I had to roll over and lay on top of my goddamn nuts. Ooh, shit. Thank you, Lord, for these big motherfuckers. So now I can ride the wave with these, John. So yeah, I started paddling with my hands and my foot gliding around that motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? I could use this shit for all kind of shit. You know what I'm talking about? I could use this motherfucker for a lifesaver when I'm in the pool. You know what I'm saying? I never drown. You know what I'm talking about? Or you know what I'm saying? I could use this hoe to pick a lock with it. Yeah, that's how much talent I got. I picked a lock with these motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, let me get in her, bitch. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, because I had one girl and shit. You know how one of those girls try to make you like they don't want to say nothing and shit. You know how y'all try to do. And I'm like, man, girl, you finna let me get up in that joint. And you got the booty lock on the nigga. You got those cheek double tighten up and shit. Like, no, no, no. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I hit a motherfucker. Look, I hit one girl on top of the head with these motherfuckers, and she ain't even press charge. I hit her, boom. She like, damn, hit me again, bam. Said, I bet you won't do it again, boom. Hit her ass again. I'm like, damn. How many times you want me to hit you? I'm in that motherfucker swinging left or right, flap, 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 flap. And then took her home back to her baby daddy. She looked like she been in the fight. She done lied to him because he like, damn, bitch, I just got your hair done. Where the other rest of the weave at? Yeah, I got to fight with some hoes and shit at the club. Why you ain't call me? I ain't even already whooped them all. But it was me the whole time. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Every year I got to go, goddamn it, and get a new permit for this motherfucker. Look. If I hit a motherfucker female with this junk, she got to sign no paper, be like, all right, you said you want this. This what come with this shit. You know what I'm talking about? Cause you finna be badly, I'm finna hit you. You know what I'm talking about? Now look, this shit consequences. This shit here, if I hit your ass with that goddamn, I'm finna knock some out of line. This shit cause bow-legged, permanent bow-legged damage. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it fuck with your mind and shit, and this thing, you know, you won't be able to think properly. Yeah, bitch, this a brain, right here. Look, this shit will fuck your head up, get you some of this, and this thing, you know, you thinking crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Next thing you know, you ain't gonna want this junk to leave out of sight neither, cause you gonna be like, every time I go, you gonna like, where you going? I'm finna go with your ass. Be like, no, bitch, well, I can't never go nowhere by myself. Cause now she don't even trust your ass with that big motherfucker. You know what I'm talking about? Cause look, man, she gonna tell me where you finna go with all that there. I said, bitch, I'm taking it with me. I even had one hoe try to cut it off. Caught me sleeping shit, you know what I'm talking about? I'm glad I woke up when the sound of that chainsaw was going on. Bitch, you try to snatch these nuts off. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Shit. But I'll be right, gang. I'll be right back. Y'all stay cool. I'll be right back.